Yes. Okay, great. Okay, fantastic. We're going to start. Chuck, there's plenty of room for you over here. Okay, this is on. Good evening, everyone. May I ask that you just check your cell phones and turn them off or to the vibrate position, please? Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. This is the September full public. I can't even, I've had 1 month off and I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I'll start over again. Welcome to Community Board 8, our September full board meeting. It's Wednesday, September 17th, and we have a jam-packed agenda. So I appreciate everyone's attention and due deliberateness as we move forward. So we'll start with our public session. Before I do that, I just want to remind everyone, this is a meeting where we require civility and respect, and I expect everyone to follow the rules when they come forward. So if you come forward to speak, we'll call a bunch of names, everyone in the room, and then we'll go to Zoom. Please state your name and where you live, and then you'll have 2 minutes to speak. I just wanted to say to the left of me is our Secretary Craig Lader and our first Vice Chair Felice Barber, who has graciously agreed to sit in as the Secretary this evening, and one of our community associates, Jordan Lee, and on the Zoom, our District Manager, Will Brightville. Okay, let's go.
All right, so we're going to start with people who are in person, and then we'll go to Zoom afterwards. If you signed up for public session on Zoom, please click the react and raise your hand so I know that you're here, and that will call on you afterwards. So if I call your name, please come up to the lectern over here and you can line up on the side. Gary Kessler, Kate Federiconi, Nathaniel, Elizabeth Rose Daly, Laura Jackson, Rachel Skinner O'Neill.
And just as those people are lining up, we do have our council member Keith Powers here. So if we want to let him give his report as well.
Okay, so just to wait a little bit.
Is that my cue? Nice to see everyone. I'm sorry I'm not with you guys in person, but and nice to see everyone and your beautiful faces from my computer. City Council member Keith Powers representing the 4th Council District, which of course many of you know I split with Councilmember Menon here in the City Council. I wanted to just come by with a few updates and just to say hello and share a couple of things that we've been working on since we've all last seen each other. A couple bills, some rezonings I want to talk about. I did want to start. I just wanted to talk since we all last saw each other. Obviously, an item that we have all been thinking about and discussing is the rezoning of Lenox Hill Hospital. And as you know, the council did approve a modified version of that back in August. And I wanted to just come and talk a little bit about your feedback on that project, but also the sort of end result of all of that. As many people know, this has been going through years of discussion and negotiations. I do believe at the end of the day, we got a plan that delivers both excellent healthcare at a much more appropriate scale than the original proposal and with less disruption than proposed. As many folks know, walk around that area. It's currently outdated facilities with deteriorating buildings going back to the 19th century, and in my view, don't really meet the modern medical standard. We have a increased need for healthcare here in many ways, and also a hospital that treats nearly 140,000 patients a year, has thousands of workers, and much more. And of course, in a context of hospitals like Beth Israel in my district, right next to my district, that have closed recently. Just to give you context, I want to talk a little about why we ultimately got there to support it. This had originally started at a proposal of 516 feet. There was a 516 hospital building and a 490-foot residential tower. Many of us thought that was drastically out of scale and not necessary for what their actual needs were, and had worked through a plan through a task force we had put together with Gail Brewer, who was borough president at the time, which got us to a new proposal just a little while back that brought us to 436 feet and removed the Park Avenue Tower, which many people did not feel was necessary. But of course, none of us, I think, thought we were totally finished at that point. We had gone through, weeks and months of back and forth, and I want to thank Valerie, and I want to thank a number of the community board 8 members who continued to, to work with us, talk to us, share feedback, and of course, your resolution providing a lot of input to us as well. So, what we landed on that, and sort of your feedback and questions kind of helped us down many of this. The final hospitals got 370 feet down from what way back was 516 feet, which long-term is a 146-foot reduction. We had 11 years of construction down to 5 years of external work, 3 years of internal, less audible work, which I think will save a lot of people sleep. One of the key actions we had to do there is a special permit for hospital use to ensure that Lenox Hill can serve the neighborhood for generations to come. We had actually extended that to make sure that they had to use almost that entire property for a hospital. We increased the lot usage they needed to do for the hospital to up to, I think it's 95% was the final outcome, which is a big deal that came from you guys and your feedback. We also created a new pull-through ambulance bay so that the ambulances are no longer parking on the streets, and a whole community benefits package of $20 million for a new subway elevator and a new northbound station accessibility improvements, $25 million total. 10 years of sanitation services around there, new tree plantings, new health screenings throughout Community Board 8, rat abatement for their construction, and also just sort of more outreach in that neighborhood for people who are on the streets who need help. And also we were able to secure for Wagner Middle School down the block next to the other facility that Northwell owns. We got them a new science lab there because they had been so good neighbors working with, we've been all working together trying to make sure that construction works. They have, gone through some construction there. We were able to secure some benefits for them as well. And ultimately about making sure that we can keep healthcare there as well, and make sure we modernize it. I know it's not what everybody had been advocating or for asking for. In my view, it was the right balance at the end of the day. I acknowledge it, not everybody will be happy with the final outcome, but to me, for the long-term health, this is a good outcome. But also want to thank Community Board 8 because your feedback, your input really did mean a lot to our efforts, and your insights and input helped us to drive and go further on that. So wanted to provide that update. Obviously, you can always reach out to my office with questions about that. We can send you the information on it. I also just want to talk about a few other things. That same day, we voted on a rezoning in Midtown South, which actually creates new housing, 10,000 new units of housing here in Midtown, Midtown South, also part of my district. So we had two big things at the same time. This one actually creates 10,000 new units, 3,000 new affordable housing units, which I think will be a big deal for Midtown, but a big deal for Manhattan as we think about the long-term growth of that neighborhood. And finally, we passed a bill just recently on during the summer to expand our cooling center program, which is basically the cooling centers where you go on those hottest days to when you're looking for a refuge from a lot of seniors are looking, maybe not have air conditioning, looking for a place to go. We expanded that program and codified it because it's actually not part of our New York City law that there has to be a program like that. So we expanded and codified that, which I think is good long-term because we can actually really update standards as we go to make sure that program is always there. And the biggest part is to make sure every single community gets it, because there is a big disparity right now between certain neighborhoods who get a lot of them and certain neighborhoods who get very few of them. I will keep it short, but I also wanted to note Carolyn from my office is going to be departing imminently because she is bringing a beautiful new child into the world very soon. And I wanted to congratulate her and thank her. She has been a great part of our team and I know has worked well with Community Board 8. So you may be hearing a little bit less from her in the near future, but we have a great individual named Walker who is joined our team, who's going to be helping out with Community Board 8 for the next few months. But I want to say and congratulate Carolyn ahead of time, and also say a very big thank you and share news about where she is off to, which is great news. So anyway, thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, Keith. We're gonna miss Carolyn a lot, and please let us know when her new edition drops.
All right. She's in our office, and I'll make sure we connect you guys.
Take care. Take care. All right, let's go to the public session. Please come up. Remember, state your name. If you look over here, you can see the 2-minute clock. Oh, no. Sorry, yeah, right here. Sorry. Just so you can see, keep your eye on the clock.
Do I need a mic? Does it get a mic?
Does he get a mic? He usually does.
Yeah.
Is it not there?
No, it's not, no.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case.
Oh, we can, we can take that one.
Thank you.
Hello, and thank you. My name is Gary Kessler. I'm a resident in Sutton Place. I appreciate the desire, it is about the playground. I appreciate the desire to reduce conflict and improve park access, but I'm here to ask for a modified design that would retain multiple basketball courts at 24 Sycamores and a reconsideration of certain aspects of the proposed plan that would also allow for 2 pickleball courts. We lived in Sutton Place since 2011. We had an eighth grade son, 5th grade daughter. We've been regulators at this park since they were babies. We're still regularly using it, primarily to play basketball. Over the years, I've observed a heavy use of all 3 courts, not only for children and teens, but also adults of all ages. The large open space also allows for other activities, including scooters, football, soccer, baseball, lacrosse, and yes, pickleball. For many children and teens in the area, this is their only free outdoor recreational space. A place to exercise, learn teamwork, stay out of trouble. A single half-court basketball court would not be a safe or adequate space for children to play, as they would be competing for access to teens and adults. There are no other public basketball courts within easy walking distance for kids in Sutton Place neighborhood. For children whose parents don't yet allow them to walk long distances or take public transportation by themselves, this park is their only realistic access. Removing these courts effectively takes the game away from local children, many of whom don't just have the option to go play somewhere else. The 2 closest parks with basketball courts are St. Catherine's on 67th and 1st and Robert Moses on 42nd and East River, a total of 1.4 miles apart, or 30 minutes by walking. After reviewing the plans, I believe a more thoughtful redesign would make room for pickleball courts without removing the main basketball courts. The planned adult fitness area designated on the southeast section of the park where a handball court is currently located should be reconsidered. I've seen this type of equipment in other parks in New York City and other cities, and it typically goes unused. However, for anyone interested, there is a similarly planned adult fitness area soon to be located on the East River Promenade. By removing this area, the basketball court would only be minorly reduced in size while still retaining a full court, and there would also be room for 2 pickleball courts and a handball court.
Okay,
If you'll give me
No,
20 more seconds.
I'm not.
Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hello, everyone. My name is Nathaniel. I'm a resident of the Upper East Side for 30 years. Can everybody hear me?
Could you speak into the mic?
Even louder?
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, so I want to begin with the word respect, because that was used by the chair of the board. I'm here to pay my respect.
Sorry. 1 second, Nathan.
There we go. I'm here to pay my respects to the family of the man who bled to death outside my apartment due to the blind spots of the construction of the Memorial Sloan Kettering 600-foot tower. Every construction site in the city has a blind spot because when they extend the sidewalk barricades into the roadway, the drivers cannot see the pedestrians who receive a walk light that says it's clear for them to walk, but the drivers can't see them until it's too late. I'd like to know what the board and Mark Levine's office is doing to make every construction site safe in the city. And I'd like to ask each one of you, if you woke up in the middle of the night and saw a man bleeding to death outside your window, would you take a picture so that you could document it and bring it to the next community board meeting to say that this is unsafe? When you have an elementary school up the street where you've requested a speed bump for 10 years, and just now you got a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit in front of the school, not at the foot of the street. Can we talk about safety seriously? Seriously? And who removed the motorcycle? Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan.
Can you hand me the microphone stand, just so?
Hi, everyone. I'm Kate Federiconi. I am the new manager at the Roosevelt Island Library for part of New York Public Library. Really excited to be here tonight. Thank you for the community board for all you do. Really grateful for this. Just a couple of things to bring to your attention. Currently, it is Library Open House Week, which means libraries across the city are going to be giving out special things that we have a little example of. We also have activities and programs dedicated to this week. Upcoming, we have our Van Boast Week in October, first full week of October. And then a couple of things to highlight at the Roosevelt Island branch itself on Wednesday, the 24th, 1 week from tonight. We will be having a free open jazz concert at 6 o'clock. The following week on Monday, the 29th, the Roosevelt Island Historical Society will be giving a talk about Roosevelt Island at 50. It's turning 50 years, which is incredible for residential, I should say. And then also on the 29th is the start of our after school program. So kids can come into the library starting at 2:45 until 5:45 for homework help, community building, and arts and crafts. So keep that in mind and more. I have some program pamphlets that I'll leave outside on the table.
Thank you very much.
Hi, can everyone hear me without a?
I think it's better for the mic, for the
Oh,
people on
yeah,
Zoom.
for the people?
Yes,
Hi, everybody.
Oh,
Zoom
you did
now.
that.
Okay,
you
how
just
am I
turned
gonna
it
do-
off.
I gotta keep it like this.
No, you have to
No, I
turn it
think
on.
you
You just
just-
turn it
Turn it
on.
on.
Now it's on.
Is it green?
Hi.
It was green.
It's turned on.
Yeah, no, I can see when
Yeah,
it's green,
okay.
but do I have to keep holding it
No,
No.
you don't have to just press it.
and then let it go? Now I gotta.
No,
Yeah.
it's not working.
Everybody hear me?
No, it's not working. I can see it from here.
Switch.
Everybody hear me now?
Yes.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rachel Skinner O'Neill. I am the library manager for the Webster branch, which is the branch on York Avenue between 77 and 78th Streets. And as my colleague Kate was saying, it is Library House Open Week. We have a lot going on. At Webster, we are actually asking people to come in and sign our gratitude garland, which we will be decorating the library with. People are saying all sorts of lovely things about the library and what they also want to see happening in the library, which is great. As a thank you for your efforts, this is an example of one of the adult packs that we have. So I'm going to leave some of these outside. It's got a notebook in it and a pen. These bags are pretty fun in terms of they're very useful, especially if you have a dog who needs to carry treats around and back. So you can do that. And the other thing is happening at the library, at Webster Library. I am going to be conducting an author talk with a locally born author, Anita Bushell, who'll be talking about her book, One Way to Whitefish. We'll be doing that next Friday between 1 and 2 o'clock. It's a free program, as all the programs in the library are, and it is a first come, first served. So please come and have a listen if you're free. And the other thing that I just really quickly want to mention, if I can get this up, is the library hires pages. I don't know if you know this, but just like we have a lot of students who help us shelf books. We pay them. I'll be putting up a notice for this in our library. Kate is coming up with a library page position. If you know someone who is 14 years or older, has working papers, you can be, as long as you are engaged in some form of education, you are eligible to apply.
Okay, thank you. If you leave one, we'll put it in our newsletter. Thank you.
And these I'm gonna put outside.
Thank you.
Okay, good evening. My name is Elizabeth Daly. I'm the head of Visitor Services and Government Affairs at the Frick Collection. And I think as many of you know, we reopened our doors on April 17th this year. And I'm absolutely thrilled to say that our reopening has been enthusiastically embraced by the public. They're coming to see our renovated first floor galleries and then the new gallery spaces that we have on the second floor. So I hope that you will all join them. Right now, in addition to the permanent collection, we have two temporary exhibitions. The first is Porcelain Gardens by Vladimir Kanevsky. And these are porcelain flowers that are put in various galleries throughout the museum, and they're on show, they're on display until November 17th. And then the other is new. We just opened Flora Yankovic's immersive mural installation, which was inspired by Francois Boucher's Four Seasons, and that will be up through March 9th of next year. The Frick is now open 6 days a week, Wednesdays through Mondays from 10:30 to 5:30, and on Fridays we're open until 8:30. So pro tip, Friday nights are kind of quiet, so come on over on Friday evening. We're closed on Tuesdays. Time tickets are required and they can be purchased through our website. We continue to offer free admission to youth between the ages of 10 and 18. And additionally, if you have a SNAP EBT card, you and 3 guests can visit the Frick for free of charge. And lastly, pay what you wish. Admission is offered on Wednesdays from 1:30 to 5:30. And you can buy those tickets in advance as well. So if you'd like more information, visit our website, frick.org. And I hope to see you soon for Frick. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Laura Jackson and I'm a 33-year resident of East 66th Street. First, I'd like to thank CB8 and especially Valerie and Judy for your continued involvement with the community surrounding MSK during this challenging time. I'm here today to call attention to the Department of Buildings after hours variances. We are aware that someone from the DOB is scheduled to attend the upcoming zoning committee meeting. And we ask that the committee make after hours variances an item on the agenda. Back in 2013, during a massive building boom, CB4's Quality of Life Committee drew up a resolution requesting immediate changes to the method by which after hours variances are issued. One of their requests was that weekend work be approved for no more than 1 out of 4 consecutive weekends. Weekend and night construction is a serious quality of life issue affecting so many of us. If CB8 and other community boards citywide were willing to draw up similar resolutions, perhaps we could reverse this troubling trend and collectively enjoy some peace and quiet across the city on both Saturday and Sunday. And also, is there anything that can be done to hold developers accountable for what appears in their environmental impact statements? For example, in MSK's FEIS, it clearly states, while not expected to be frequent, weekend or night work may occasionally be required for certain construction activities. In reality, MSK has applied for and been granted after hours variances every Saturday this year, and now says it will do so for the duration of the 6-year project. What is the purpose of an FEIS or laws meant to protect the health and safety of residents if a developer can so easily work around them?
Appreciate that, Laura. Okay. I'll address the zoning meeting when I come to my report, but thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I was his program, yeah. All right, next up we have Joe Chen Weber, Stephanie Reckler, and Seth Alter.
Good evening, everyone.
Is it green?
Wishes.
Oh, yeah.
So the battery?
I don't know. Where are all these from? I don't know. I can't. There.
Okay, now I'm free. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Also, thank you so much for Community Board 8 for having these sessions. That's my first time in person. similar to Laura, I'm also a resident of 66th Street, now only for 4 years, but I also feel that MSK has not really been doing a good job with being transparent and communicating their needs for having these Saturday works scheduled. And I just want to ask everyone in the community to think about what they would like developers to show in terms of communication transparency. And to the extent that you feel that you would like more transparency so that they can't just get away with these last minute claims that, oh yeah, the next Saturday or the next two Saturdays don't have to work without ever telling people how long this may be going on. Just to think about how you can exert pressure to make your voice heard. Thank you very much. Yeah, whoever.
Good evening. I'm Stephanie Reckler. I'm on the executive committee of the Committee to Protect Our Lenox Hill neighborhood. And I wasn't intending to say anything about the application that was approved by the city council. But I have to respond to Keith Powers telling you that he listened to you. He didn't listen to you, and he didn't listen to us. We had over 7,000 signatures, all right? And he didn't listen to us, and he had the chutzpah to tell you that he listened to CB8, and he didn't. Hospital construction is a free-for-all in this city. If you are against what the major hospitals propose, that means you're against healthcare. It doesn't work. What works is to have better healthcare in hospital deserts, not on the Upper East Side. So I don't know what we can do about that. I don't know if hospitals have to pay a fine when they don't commit to what they have told you. What is interesting is MSK is financially in trouble. They have laid off their staff, and they're proceeding with this tower, and they do not respect the community. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Stephanie. There's one person to do it.
Last in person is Seth Alter here.
Oh, great.
Oh, great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. My name is Seth Alter. I'm a CPA. I've got over 25 years of experience, over 15 years with Big Four accounting firms or international consulting firms. I was at the SCA OIG's office for over 8 years and inspired for a whistleblower complaint. During the depositions, the previous IG, Ms. Felice Sontu, stated her predecessor, Ms. Maria Mustafa, was fired for being too aggressive. I was recommended for promotion, which was denied by the president at the time, Ms. Cirillo. I had uncovered $100 million of SCA funding was used for COVID centers, which was mostly off-school properties. $10 million of SCA funding was used for cleaning Rikers Island jails. $36 million of funding specifically designated for Hurricane Sandy is used for projects specifically indicated as not Hurricane Sandy. The SCA's use of its emergency response contractors program to procure projects in non-emergency situations. I looked at over $400 million of the spending, and over $300 million of it was for political emergencies such as building UBKs, 3Ks, and school health centers when no emergency was indicated. I reviewed over 1,300 reserve projects and noted that there was approximately $40 million of non-reserve funding that was commingled with reserve projects. I noted various inaccuracies with information that was reported to the public, when in fact there was nothing on the SEA's internal records that would correspond to that. I noted hundreds of millions of dollars of transfers between the DOE and the SCA for capital projects, when the SCA has the sole responsibility for the construction of capital projects. I looked at the DOI's website, which indicated approximately 450 whistleblower cases, and only
You
two
have
have
2
been
seconds
substantiated.
I'm sorry, you have to finish.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next we're going to go to those on Zoom. If you don't have your hand raised and I call out your name, please raise your hand. We'll go Evelyn David, Emily Vasquez, Aura Marsarowski, Janetta Rochelle Backley, and Dr. Ira Capers.
Hi, good evening, everybody. It's Evelyn David from Lexington Avenue. How's everybody? I hope you're well. I'm huge shout out to, oh, good. You can hear me? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes?
We can hear you.
Okay.
Go ahead. You're making everyone in the room smile. Thank you for the uplift.
Jordan, can you make these?
Okay. So, is that somebody else?
Go ahead.
No, should I go ahead?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So for number one, huge thank you and shout out to Will and wishing him safe travels and thanking him for his work and dedication to community board. I mean, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, you all work so hard, but you know, Will, the first person I met there on the bus routes that I was totally against on Lexington Avenue. I mean, it's turning out, you know, it's working. It just made Lex impossible. Well, never mind. You know, traffic. Anyway, so, but thank you, Will, for everything. Safe travels and huge amount of luck. Good wishes on the next venture. Whatever it is, even if you decide to come back and work here, you know, come on. So we need you. So we're going to miss. He will be totally missed. Totally incredibly missed by everybody. So that's what I wanted to say, number one. Number two, any feedback, constructive feedback from the DOT on what we're calling a fiasco, people that parked on Park Avenue during summer streets, or open streets, okay? And just that is a question. And number three, really fast, what comprises Midtown East, where this construction is going to go on? So those are my three. Any feedback from DOT that's constructive, like they won't do it again, you know, very funny.
Well,
anyway,
feedback is a subjective term. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Evelyn. I know Evelyn.
Okay. What is Midtown East? Because that's
we have your email and we'll send you answers to your questions, okay? Because we've got a lot of people online, but Will can't unmute himself, but I'll say thank you on his behalf. Go ahead. Okay, who's next?
I don't see, so I'll do.
Jordan, who is next? And I can, so thank you.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Aura, you're next.
Yes, good evening. My name is Aura Masarsky and I live on East 86th Street. I wanted to share that I have concerns and question. We were away for a while this summer, and when we returned, I discovered that Mimi's Pizza, which was formerly at 217 East 86th Street, had moved 2 doors down to 219. It's a very narrow storefront. And apparently they decided to have an a sidewalk dining facility. It comprises of, I believe, 4 tables and 8 to 10 chairs, depending on the day, because they put out high tops and stools and some aluminum tables and chairs. The thing of it is, they have a plaque on us, a piece of paper on their front door indicating that they had applied for 3 tables and 6 chairs outside on the sidewalk. It's a narrow sidewalk, and they were awaiting approval, I suppose. But in the meantime, they've already done it. I looked up some information, and apparently one has to get approval before beginning business. In addition to which, their tables and chairs go way past the front of their building. And I looked up on diningoutynyc.info, and it says that restaurant frontage has to be the width of your property and no more. And they go on to the immediate next property. And it tells you about the setup area, which is length is based on your restaurant's frontage. Sidewalk cafes cannot extend beyond this frontage. Then there's something called the furnishing zone, and that is parallel to the curb, in which street furniture and amenities such as lighting benches, wayfinding signs.
I'm sorry, your time is up. Your time is up.
Sure. That's what I thought, yeah, doesn't it show on the screen?
Yeah,
you get the
on the
address.
screen. It's showing on the screen.
Okay.
Or you cannot, we're done, it's your 2 minutes is up. We understand your objection, and that'll be coming up at those part of the street life committee meeting, but we understand what you're saying. For those of you in the room, the people who are speaking on Zoom can see the clock in front of them as they're speaking, okay? Okay, who's next?
Jeanette.
Jeanette? And then after Jeanette?
And then after Jeanette, Dr. Ira K. Ira K.
Ira K, okay. Jeanette, can you raise your hand so we can see that you're on?
Yeah. Yes,
Elaine and Claire, can you put your hands down?
my hand is raised.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, my name is Janetta Bagley, and I am a parent here in Sutton Place, representing myself and my family, and also representing hundreds of other families in the neighborhood. You have to excuse my voice. I do have the flu. So we have various WhatsApp groups that have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of families in the group. And I'm representing all of the families in the neighborhood to oppose the redesign of Sycamore Park. You know, we have such limited space for our children as it is. Growing up in New York City is extremely difficult on a child. There's not a lot of open play space. And furthermore, the safety of our children is most important. In Sutton Place, underneath the bridge, there's constant encampments. I have been accosted several times. There's needles. 2 weeks ago, the guys on their dirt bikes went by and pulled a woman off her bike and threw her to the ground and beat her for no reason. This is what our children live in. Our children need a safe place to go, to play, to interact, to let out their energy. Redesigning the park so that you give space to the adults for pickleball and adult fitness is completely doing a disservice to our children. They need a place, there are lower basketball courts, there can be swings for the children. The whole waterfront has been developed, and there's plenty of other spaces for adults to go. Adults can go freely wherever they want to play pickleball or have their fitness, but children are limited. They only have this safe haven as a place to go. So we oppose the redesign.
Okay, thank you. Ira? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. And who's after?
After is Antonio Martinez.
And then after will be Antonio.
I don't think Ira's on. So we can go to Antonio.
Okay, we're going to Antonio next.
Hi, hello.
Yep, go ahead, go ahead.
Recently I attended the Lexington Avenue Street Festival, which I greatly appreciated because I got to see one of the committee board representatives, and I got to speak to her, and I got to acknowledge that I attended one of the senior events through the committee board meetings, and I got to speak, and I got to acknowledge that there are programs like the Roe and Carter Burden that need assistance with volunteers in the city. And I kind of pitched the idea if college students could participate, because also they're more mature and that they're educated, that they can actually help the seniors. Around that time, it was a difficult moment because the budget wasn't passed. So I wanted to just speak up on that again and just acknowledge that that if more seniors and college students can participate in that, I think overall it builds a well community. Also, just like the street festival in itself for Lexington Avenue was awesome because there was a mental health and wellness coach there. And I got to acknowledge that, you know, there's things that I need to personally work on my self-care. So overall, I think when you see like 92NY as well, like participating in the street fair, little and also just like the Democratic Party was present there that day too with their stand. I just think like little things like that around the city, especially around FDR Drive, can really just create more sense of community. And I think there's a lot of other issues, of course, but I'm just grateful that I can have this pleasure to speaking in front of everyone, and that these are some of the brief topics that I would like to see more involvement in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Claire Cutting and Michelle Rubel.
Okay, Claire and then Michelle.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? I'm sorry. I was having a little trouble with the mute button.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I would like to second the information that was just shared regarding the Sycamores Playground. This area is absolutely vital to our children's development. Nature has been shown to be a primary help when it comes to dealing with situations such as ADHD, ADD, and other attentive disorders. It is absolutely critical that this space is maintained for children to have the ability to run and be free without running into adults, without running into potential pickleball situations. I believe that there can be space for a couple of pickleball courts without taking away all of the open space that we have today, as well as all of the area that the children's use to play soccer, sports, and be free. As was mentioned by an earlier speaker, there is very little space for kids in the city to run free and be kids. Many of us are here because our jobs require us to be, and therefore this playground space with open, ample space for kids to be kids is vital for their development and their well-being. Adults have so many areas in the neighborhood. There is the beautifully redesigned East River area where they can sit. Those seats do not need to be in a playground. Pickleball courts can be found inside. They do not need to be in a kid's playground. I strongly encourage the community board to reconsider this redesign and ensure that they prioritize our children's health and well-being to ensure that our community can be successful, because we are only as successful as our children. Thank you so very much for reconsidering the redesign of the Sycamores Playground to ensure that our kids have adequate space to play and that they have the freedom that they need to run around and do what kids are supposed to do and not have to worry about adults, the elderly, or pickleball players who should find other areas to do their activities. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Okay,
Michelle.
Michelle, please.
Hi, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties, but I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay, great. Hi, thank you all for letting me speak. My name is Michelle Rubel. I'm mother of 3 children in the neighborhood, ages 13, 11, and 5. We've grown up with 24 Sycamore Park. For my family and many others, this is our backyard. It's where our children learn to climb. They pick up basketball games, they swing, and they have an independent and safe place to enjoy childhood and explore and learn. This redesign takes away what kids fully rely on: the basketball courts,
Yeah. Michelle,
She dropped off. Let's see.
did you drop off, Michelle?
Oh no, I think she accidentally. No, she's still on and she's still unmuted.
What?
She's still on and she's still unmuted, so I think it's a technical.
Oh, I think you may be having a technical difficulty. Okay, we'll come back to you. I think we understand that you're opposed to the redesign, so we get that. We appreciate it. Go ahead. Who's next?
Christina and Connie.
Christina and then Connie. Go ahead, Christina.
Okay, hi, Christina Clifford. So I live at 135 East 95th Street, and I am on because we oppose 133's proposal to extend out into the backyard. We were on the other night, and I just wanted to reiterate how much we oppose their prospective redesign of their house. And it's just, I think I just want to stress that it's really taking away from our light. It's like putting a apartment building next to our house in the back. And their architect spoke about the front of their house a lot and how people wouldn't see the back, but we all live in the back and the whole neighborhood lives in the back. And we will see this very large structure, 5 stories tall and extending out, and it will 100% ruin all of our light, our sunshine. Half our house will be in darkness among my neighbors. So I just wanted to come on and say we strongly, strongly oppose their renovation or whatever we want to call it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Connie Pankratz.
Okay, Connie? Go ahead, unmute yourself.
No.
Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, my name is Connie Pankratz. I've lived in New York City since 2001. I want to just second everything that the prior folks have said about opposing the redesign of 24 Sycamore. It's been a foundational grounding playground for me and my family and many others. One of the things I want to highlight is that if you draw a 4-block perimeter around that playground, so if you go 4 blocks north, west, and south, you'll find 10 gyms for adults. There's 0 playgrounds in that same radius. The waterfront is lovely, but kids can't learn to play basketball or throw a ball around there. A lot of adults, probably some of us in this room, get really bothered by kids that play along those areas, whether they're scooting or tossing a ball around, and taking away the play space is just going to aggravate that. I also want to underscore everyone's belief that adding adult fitness to the playground is going to decrease the safety of the kids who play there. Also because taking away that precious space where the handball court is takes away space for the bigger kids to throw a ball around and not run over the smaller kids that are in the climbing areas. A lot of us believe that pickleball courts take up way too much space. You're pushing out basketball, which is a quintessential New York City sport. You're going to see more kids around a basketball hoop than you are going to see 2 to 4 people on pickleball. And I'm sure there's a way that we can find pickleball in other places. The park is really an important part of outdoor recreation for our children. My son's school has a really small rooftop playground. 24 Sycamore is the largest outdoor play space that is available, a walking distance from many of our homes. We all know that every square foot in Manhattan is precious. Please don't take away the space that's currently used by our children. Let's find a better way to move forward. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Elaine Walsh.
Okay, Elaine Walsh and then
Sarah Downey.
Sarah Downey. Go ahead, Elaine.
Yes, good evening. I'm the president of the East 86th Street Merchants and Residents Association, and I'm on this call to ask you to reject or pull the application on Street Life for the Mimi Pizza. Historically, East 86th Street was a protected street prior to COVID, and no restaurants were allowed. This restaurant, which is not a restaurant, it's a fast food takeout, has violated and misrepresented themselves in their application. They do not place their tables and chairs on the frontage of the side of the building. They're in the tree pit. They also purchased recently or rent 219. And that's where they put a number of the tables by another tree pit. And they then go east into other buildings to place their tables and chairs. What they represented to you is not true. In addition, our association has worked to remediate the rat situation. Their tree pit is the one that we have had the most difficulty with. But I request that you have them withdraw their application. And I know I've worked with staff on this, and they've told me DOT said something about high tables. It's not the issue of high tables. It's the issue of where they place and what they represented to you as to where the tables and chairs are, which is not true. In addition, they've put out more tables and chairs than they would even say. We have many photos. We are opposed to this. We have an association that's tried to work with the quality of life and are highly disappointed with what has come before you. I don't know how DOT or the board looked at their site plans, but they are not correct. We have photos and we're glad to share. We started the opposition to
Okay,
this in
thank you,
June.
Elaine.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next is Sarah Downey and then Ward Dennis.
Okay, Sarah Downey, Ward Dennis, Sarah.
Great. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm here representing my family. I have two 10-year-old children, and they've lived in Sutton Place their entire life. You are doing a huge disservice not only to families with children, but to the community as a whole with the current version of the proposed 24 Sycamore Park redesign. In the entire Sutton Place community, there is literally only one place where children can go to play in a safe environment, and that is Sycamore Park. Since we moved in, we've seen the 53rd Street walkway open and the parks between 56th and 57th Street be built. But there is nothing there for kids. Instead, it's all room for adults to walk and to lounge around. We try to keep kids active. We want them to have a place to play and to meet their friends. They need a playground. They need numerous basketball courts and open space to play sports and run around. They need a hitting wall to play tennis or handball or to kick a soccer ball against. Adults can take the bus or the subway to play pickleball elsewhere, but our children don't have the flexibility to do that. It is truly disappointing that the plans for the redesign solely focus on grown-ups and limit the ability for kids to be kids in a safe way. We adamantly oppose the proposed redesign of Sycamore Park and truly hope the board recognizes that the redesign will truly hurt our community as a whole. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Sarah. Ward, you're up next. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ward Dennis. I'm a principal at Higgins Quays Barth and Partners, and here to speak on behalf of the owner of the 831 Madison Avenue project. The project proposes 3 areas of work. The first is a construction of a new building designed by David Chipperfield Architects on the site of 831 Madison, a non-contributing building within the Upper East Side Historic District. The second area of work is the restoration and rehabilitation of the 3 contributing buildings at 833, 835, and 837 Madison. As part of this work, the upper facades of the 3 buildings will be restored and the storefronts will be reconfigured to remove non-historic infill, bringing the retail base of the building back to life. The interior structures of the row house will be rebuilt with new fireproof construction, which will also allow for better retail layouts. The third area of work is a rooftop addition on top of 833 Madison Avenue. Based on mock-ups we have constructed, this 3-story addition will only be minimally visible from a small area of Madison Avenue. Regarding the new building, the Landmarks Committee had an interesting discussion on the merits of the design, with 2 members strongly in favor of the project and 8 members opposed. The proposed new building is a carefully considered contemporary response to the classic Madison Avenue apartment building. The proposal is not to replicate historic buildings, but rather to respond to the heterogeneous nature of Madison Avenue with its mix of taller and shorter buildings from various eras. David Chipperfield's design is an elegant response to this context, with a building faced in limestone with light gray on the sides and rear. The design of the facade uses simple forms, classical proportions, and a minimalist palette to create a building that is appropriate for our time. Thank you very much.
Oh, Ward, I'm sorry. Did you identify where you lived?
No, he's the applicant.
I work for the applicant.
I wasn't clear about that. Okay.
I live in Williamsburg.
Okay, thank you.
Next is Richard Roth and then Melissa Dasori.
Is that it then?
There's 2 more.
Oh, okay. Richard Roth and then Melissa Del Sori, and then we have 2 more people. That's going to be the end. Go ahead, Richard.
He's muted.
Yeah, Richard, you should have an option to unmute whenever you're ready.
Richard, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, Richard, look for a button on the bottom of your device that says unmute.
There's a button. Okay.
Yeah.
Can. Okay, I'm sorry, we'll come back to you. Who's next?
Okay, next is Melissa Dasori.
Will, let him try to unmute himself while we're trying. to.
Yeah. I've sent him a link, so he should be able to anytime he's ready.
Okay, go ahead, Melissa.
Hi, I'm Melissa Desori. I am a brand new resident of 95th between Park and Lex, which is the block where 133 is proposing a renovation that I'm here about. That block, if you haven't been on it, feels just like a prototypical example of a historic district. It's old and beautiful, and it has absolutely a unified sense of place. And the proposed addition to this house is effectively a 5-story tower on the back that is going to loom over all of the gardens in the back. And those gardens also feel very special. They are an oasis with cherry trees and dogwoods and full of air and light. And the idea of a single family home putting up such a monolithic structure that is going to really increase the footprint of the building in a way that feels very out of keeping with everything else on the block, and have such a transformative and negative effect on that whole strip feels out of proportion to what should happen. And like there must be another solution with some sort of stepped design or something that would not feel like it's just going to loom over everyone else there. So thanks so much.
Thank you, Melissa. Richard, can you unmute yourself? Doesn't look like it.
Richard, just look for a button on your device that says unmute towards the bottom of your screen usually.
There's 2 people there. That's why. Maybe the person behind you can help you? You know, the pressure. Anybody else?
Yeah, so we have Melanie Myers and then Lo Vanderbilk.
Okay, Melanie Myers, and then we're gonna close with Lo Vanderbilk unless Richard can.
Michelle Rebel.
Oh.
Sign up?
Yeah.
Shall I start?
Yep, go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Melanie Myers. I'm an attorney with Fried Frank, and I'm speaking with regards to the Landmark Committee's recommendation regarding the proposed continuing maintenance plan for the Metropolitan Club located at 1 East 60th Street. And I do represent the Metropolitan Club. In the course of the committee's discussion, we did not hear any comments on the elements of the continuing maintenance plan itself, but rather an objection to the use of the zoning mechanism that allows landmarks to transfer their development rights. As discussed in the meeting, the right to transfer development rights under Section 75-422 of the zoning resolution is non-discretionary, meaning that it is as of right, subject to the creation of a continuing maintenance plan for the landmark building. As such, if the community board has any comments on the plans as presented to the committee, we would love to hear them. We would note that the proposed continuing maintenance plan is a comprehensive plan. It's comprised of a combination of upfront restoration work, ongoing inspection and maintenance work, and a requirement to maintain the building to a high landmark standard. We would also note that it's consistent with maintenance plans approved by the Landmarks Preservation Commission for numerous landmarks throughout the city. So we appreciate the committee's and the board's consideration of this matter, and we thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you very much, Melanie. I think we did hear from Michelle already. We did.
No, she got cut off.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
she's
right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, Michelle. Can you finish up? Michelle?
He's unmuted, so.
You're unmuted. Okay. Michelle, I don't know, there's not much else that we can do. Richard? Can you unmute? If not, I'm gonna read the letter you wrote me. You have 10 seconds. You can't. Okay, I'm gonna read your letter then, if that's okay with you. Okay? Okay, here goes. I'll be on the timer. My wife and I were very pleased that the outcome of last night's CB8 Landmark Subcommittee meeting yielded a majority vote in favor of rejecting the proposal as submitted for the renovations and new construction at 831-837 Madison Avenue. Being somewhat naive regarding the order of events that follow now, we are at least aware that on September 30th, the same matter is on the agenda of the full New York City Landmark Preservation Committee. We very much appreciated the time taken and the focus on detail demonstrated by the committee. Due to the extensive agenda and the complex nature of the presentation, some matters were not fully explored. And we wanted to highlight some things to you. Aggregate mass. When viewed in their entirety, the aggregate structures overpower the footprint and occupy every inch of available space on the plot right to the eastern rear property line, completely obliterating the north-south donut section running behind Madison Avenue. Although comment was made by a member of the committee that seemed to indicate a modest single-story increase in the elevation in the rear, in fact, it is at least 4 stories and comes to the same height of the adjacent building to the east at the north end of the plot. New construction. Leaving aside the fate of the building, a major aesthetic failing of the design is its failure to offer a 4-sided visual solution. Using as a rationale photographs of other buildings in the district that use 2 materialities, the single-faced Potemkin-style frontage leaves a distinctly backroom presence looming over the neighborhood. That secondary materials were used on 3 sides of other buildings for reasons of cost at a point in time when there was no oversight or controls is hardly a justification. Hold on, where am I? The scale balance of heights. The intrusion of yet another high-rise building in the middle of virtually an entire block of low-scale structures is entirely inappropriate and threatens to upset the balance between those high-rises that already exist and the lower-scale structures that are so pivotal to the openness and relaxed nature of the street to pedestrians. That's why I'm sorry, I have to stop. Thank you very much, Richard. I did my best.
You can't see that. Michelle wants to share a letter.
It's too late. She had it out for her time. I'm sorry, Michelle. You can send your letter to us. We'll take it up later. Okay. Thank you. All right.
Then you have Lo
Okay,
Vanderwalk.
Lo Vanderwalk. I'm sorry. You're the last up. Go ahead, Lo.
Okay, my name is Lo Vanderwalk. I'm representing Carnegie Hill neighbors, and I'm speaking especially to 133 East 95th Street that will come before the Landmarks Committee considerations this evening. We very much, unfortunately, oppose what is being proposed at 133, and it has been commented on by 2 adjacent neighbors that there's a proposed addition to the rear yard that is an incursion that is so vast. We have never seen this in Goat Hill before on either side of 95th Street. It is a monolithic, large addition that goes up straight up for 5 stories. And it's neighborly, very unfriendly, and it's unfriendly to the historic context of the inner donut space that is so valued by so many people. And in the case of these neighbors, they will be their light and air will be obstructed by this huge construction that is being proposed. And we hope, and we've heard good things about the neighbors that are going to occupy this building, and we hope that they will reconsider what they're proposing, because a vastly reduced rear yard addition is what would be appropriate. I'd like to also move to a second application that we would like to address, and that is 1143 Park Avenue. And we hope you will support the recommendation that was voted on by the Landmarks Committee, which is to redesign the rooftop penthouse, which has too much fenestration that is visible and will be visible from the sidewalk opposite on Park Avenue. And that is out of context. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lo. Okay. That ends our public session. I know it's long, but it means that people are actually, watching what we're doing and have input, so. Oh, he's waving. What, okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. Please stay to listen to your matter. I would love for you to stay online and, maybe the next time we'll get you on the public session. I apologize for that. So I love the interactiveness of it. Okay, so moving right along, we're up to number 2. Adoption of the agenda. May I have a motion to adopt? Okay, everyone in favor? Fantastic. A motion to adopt the minutes from the last meeting and all the minutes. Okay, thank you. Everybody in favor? Okay, that sounds unanimous to me. Okay, now we'll go to the Manhattan Borough President's report, Sawaiba on Zoom.
Hi everyone, this is Wipa from the Manhattan Borough President's Office. I'm under the weather, so I'm virtual. I have a very modest report. The New York City ferry system is carrying more people than ever before, reaching a record of 7.1 million passengers during the last fiscal year. The city is undertaking its first system-wide improvement process in 8 years. The BP penned an op-ed in AM New York calling for the new plan to incorporate Upper Manhattan by establishing a robust Trans-Hudson ferry service connecting northern New Jersey to West Harlem. This is available on the AM New York website, and you can also reach out to me for more information. We're also having a bunch of events. This Thursday, September 18th from 2 to 6 p.m. We're hosting a Con Ed customer assistance at 1 Center Street on the 19th floor. That's where I'm located as well. So stop by if this is something that you want to take advantage of. There will be a representative there to answer any questions you may have about your Con Ed account. And for more information, you can also email me. We're also hosting a United Together LGBTQ plus diverse and allied business summit taking place on September 19th. This is taking place, this is taking place at John Jay College, so that's not far from you, at 10 a.m. For more information, again, you can email me. We're also marching in the African American Day Parade that's taking place on September 21st at noon. We're meeting on 111th Street and Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard. So again, let us know. You can march with us as well. And lastly, we're also having a Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. This is going to be at Sugar Hill Children's Museum, 6 p.m. There is a RSVP required. This is taking place on September 25th. Lastly, all community board members should have heard from us about leadership trainings. The mandatory ones are equal employment opportunity, conflict of interest board, and the skills to combat implicit bias. So this is also, of course, open to all Manhattanites. So yeah, participate even if you're not on the community board, but if you are a member, you must participate in these 3 that I highlighted. And of course, feel free to reach out to me if there's any information you need pertaining to that. Lastly, we are having a college fair on October 25th. That's a save the date, more information to follow. Thank you so much and welcome back.
Okay, thanks a lot, Sawaiba. Okay, elected officials reports. We heard from Keith Powers. Everybody else? Thank you very much. Sawaiba neglected mentioning the Student Day Parade, which is on Saturday, for those of you who come out for that. It's fun. Anyway. Is there a microphone up there, Hannah?
Hi, everyone. I'm Hannah Wienerman from Congressman Jerry Nadler's office. So earlier in the month, you may have known that Congressman Nadler announced that he won't be seeking re-election. So it was a difficult decision, but he really wanted to pass on the torch to the next generation of leaders. You know, when he leaves office, he will have been representing New York in Congress for 34 years, and he will have been in public service for 50 years. So this doesn't change the work that we do on the ground. Our office is open. We are taking casework. We are working with agencies. If you have any federal issues, contact our office, and Congressman Nadler is committed to doing the work while he's still in office through January 3rd, 2027. So we're not going anywhere just yet. On that note, literally minutes ago, I just got a Twitter alert. The Democrats will be spare competing continuing resolution to fund the federal government through October 31st. So I don't know the details of the content because it just was released on Twitter, but I will make sure to have more information about next month and or information about federal funding writ large, you know, if the continuing resolution goes through, what it looks like. The other thing that I wanted to flag is Congressman Nadler and his colleague introduced a bipartisan bill called Protecting Communities from Helicopter Noise Act. It's one of several pieces of legislation introduced in response to rampant helicopter noise in the New Jersey, New York metropolitan area. And it directs the FAA to study impacts of helicopters on the safety of airspace and helicopter noise within a 20-mile radius of Statue of Liberty. The last thing I want to mention is that our office is accepting submissions for the Congressional App Challenge. It's open to students that live or work, live or study in the 12th Congressional District. Information can be found on our website at nadler.house.gov, and applications are accepted until October 30th. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin, and I'm here on behalf of Assemblymember Rebecca Seawright. Last Wednesday, the Assemblymember co-chaired a community 9/11 ceremony at Colonel George Park. To that effect, she has co-sponsored legislation signed into law last Wednesday by the governor that strengthens the 9/11 Worker Protection Task Force, expands pathways for public service for children and siblings of NYC sanitation workers who lost their lives, and expedites the World Trade Center disability and death benefit application process. Governor Hochul also recently signed a bill reauthorizing the Assembly members' long-term care ombudsman program. So as the chair of the Assembly Aging Committee, the Assembly member wants to ensure continued advocacy and protection for residents in long-term care facilities. This program plays a critical role safeguarding the rights and dignity of some of our most vulnerable New Yorkers, especially in this Assembly district, which has the highest concentration of elderly New Yorkers in Manhattan. The Assembly member also understands recent concerns about federal changes to COVID-19 vaccine guidelines, which is why she is supporting critical legislation to protect access, including requiring insurance coverage for not just the COVID-19 vaccine, but for all vaccines in general. So as always, our office has a host of resources for our constituents. We have a shredding event tomorrow on Roosevelt Island, motorcade turnaround from 9 to 12. If you can't make it, which is a lot of people have been telling us that, we have an entire list of shredding events. You can call our office to get that information, 212-288-4607. We also have no-cost notary services, an omnibus that arrives every first and third Wednesday of the month. We have a no-cost flu clinic on Friday, and we are currently working on a mobile adoption event with the Animal Care Centers of New York City. And last but not least, the Assembly member joins many New Yorkers in thanking Congressman Nadler for his 5 decades of dedicated public service in both the House of Representatives and the New York State Assembly, and wishes him the best as he embarks on the next step of his career.
Thank you, Kevin. Nice to see you.
Hi, I'm Audrey from Liz Kruger's office. The first announcement I want to make is that on Tuesday, October 7th, between 2 and 3, this is a virtual event. Liz will be hosting about Medicare. If you're new to it, if you want to know about the changes to it, please join in. We have, again, he is the rock star, and I'm not kidding, for doing these events at Alan Houseman. I mean, people hear his name and we never get so many people signing up for things as we do when they hear Alan is presenting on Medicare. So again, that's a virtual event for Tuesday, October 7th. And then we have a number of events coming up, but just let me focus on that one. I want to give you an update, frankly, on the Grays and the Park Avenue Conservancy, because it started here. And I wish we could say that they're moving right back in, but as you know, it was about a year ago that the governor signed the legislation sponsored by Liz and Assemblymember Wallis. Since that time, there have been many meetings, Liz and the Assemblymember meeting with ESD, meeting with the Department of Military and Naval Affairs. Finally, about 2 weeks ago, ESD said, you know what, we have some rooms, we have some space for the Grays. This is what we're going to give them to be and to start operating there this fall, this September, for their after-school program. Well, guess what? A day after that ESD letter went to the Grays, the Park Avenue Conservancy sued ESD and their commissioner, Hope Knight. So right now, the Grays cannot go back into the armory. And the Attorney General is actually going to be taking up the case for ESD and the Commissioner. But we really do think it's very important for you to realize and hear what's happening there. So again, thanks for your support, continue to support the Grays. I know there's something that was.
Who is ESD?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Empire State Development, so it's a state agency.
Okay, thanks. Right.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Harry Gale. I'm the Director of Constituent Services for Councilmember Julie Menon. I have 3 critical pieces of legislation I want to give you all updates on, but before I do, I want to thank Will Brightbill. He's done an incredible job here for our community, for Community Board 8. He's been an amazing steward of our neighborhoods and keeping elected officials in the loop on what's going on, holding us to task when necessary. And, you know, for someone that was starting out just 4 years ago in Upper East Side politics, he was incredibly helpful. So we're really going to miss you, Will. Thank you so much for everything you've done. 3 critical bills. First, last week during the week of 9/11 Memorial, Councilmember Menon introduced a resolution calling on the federal government to avoid a gap in funding that will come in 2028 without intervention for the World Trade Center Health Program. Right now, over 140,000 first responders and survivors rely on the monitoring that that program does. In the last 5 years, there's been a 143% increase in cancer rates among 9/11 first responders and survivors. It's unacceptable. A funding gap is unacceptable. Second, Councilmember Menon recently had a hearing on her right to counsel bill for victims of domestic abuse going through divorce proceedings. She already secured the funding for this bill with the help of her Women's Caucus that she's a co-chair of, and apologies, she actually passed that bill. She also had a hearing recently on her census bill that would require the city to create the office of the census at least 2 years before the census to make sure that it's fully funded. The census is critically important. In 2020, Julie led the census for New York City, securing $1.8 billion in additional annual funding from the federal government. So thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Harry. Okay, we'll go to the chair's report. A couple of things. It's been a very busy summer. I know we are one of the few boards that actually meets in July. August was very busy, maybe not with meetings, but with a lot of correspondence from various members of the community with respect to many issues, including obviously Lenox Hill Hospital and then the MSK Pavilion project. I think that it was just a very disappointing summer in terms of Lenox Hill Hospital. We tried our best. I have a different viewpoint about the reduction in height than Councilmember Powers. I do my math a little bit differently, but it is 375 feet. I think that, or 370 feet. It's very difficult to come up against a hospital or a big developer. We are advisory. I do love that people think that we have all this power, but I'm so disappointed because we really don't. And we tried very hard. And in a city where hospitals are closing all the time and there are hospital deserts, it's very difficult to get people to see and understand the argument that this wasn't just about this hospital. It was about overreach of the worst kind. And the argument just wasn't getting any ground. And I just want to thank everybody on the community board for all the efforts that they put in. And it's going to be a continuing effort. I mean, the morning we lost the vote, I took the subway home from City Hall and the door opened and it was Dan Baker from Lenox Hill Hospital. And I was like, what kind of karma is this? And I said, what are you doing on the subway? You just won. Aren't you? He was coming back from a board meeting. And I just said, look, we have to work together. We're neighbors. There is going to be a community working group. We're going to be on it. I believe that the member, there will be a representative of the coalition. And we're just going to have to work very closely. And we're going to have to stick with it, just like we're going to stick with it on MSK. Judy goes to monthly meetings tomorrow morning. I know you were looking forward to that, Judy. And look, it's not about transparency. Some of it is about transparency, but some of it isn't, because MSK was very transparent. They're gonna seek to apply for weekend work for the duration of the project. So they have ticked off the box for transparency because they've already told you what they're gonna do. And it's kind of it's an issue. Do you know, the developers put that in their plan, and does that, if we say no more weekend work, no more after hours work, does that take a 6-year project and make it a 12-year project? So there are all sorts of things to think about. But in that vein, I'm mentioning at this a little bit longer than I perhaps should, because at our September zoning meeting, we're gonna have somebody from the Department of Buildings to come and talk about what after hours permits are about. And it not only affects the construction projects of the hospitals. I personally am living next to a corner where there are 3 different luxury high-rise buildings going up at the same time. So does Todd live in the same neighborhood? And, you know, I've received tons of, and poor Jane is right in the middle of all of it. And people are calling me every day. What am I going to do about it? I wish I and we had all that power, but the power we do have is to listen to how the process works, see where we want to go from here. As I mentioned to a lot of the members of the community who have been corresponding with me day and night over all of August, we will do our best. I mean, I will bring this up at the borough board to see what other community boards are thinking about. I think that Laura Jackson mentioned back in 2014, Community Board 4 sent a letter. Obviously, here we are 11 years later, and I haven't seen any of those changes go into effect. But, you know, look, the Department of Buildings may have something else to say. So I encourage all of you to attend the meeting with the Department of Buildings. I wouldn't put my expectations up here, but somewhere here, and maybe we can get some more information and see what we can do about it and have a discussion, because it affects everyone. I do also want to say that it was great participating in the 9/11 Memorial at Carl Schurz Park, which we co-sponsored with the Upper East Side Unity Group. We had our incredible grays there. It was a very moving ceremony. Maybe you should put it on your calendars for next year. I'm sure we're gonna have another one. It's a really great moment for the community to come together and to remember what happened and to take away from that event. You know, everybody remembers that 9/11 was a terrorist attack, but to me, and one of the things I talked about was in the days after, everyone who outreached to people in New York, people who hated New York, that felt sympathy for us and were interested, and we all came together as Americans, and we're sort of in the same kind of period of darkness right now. And it would be nice if people remembered the spirit that we felt on 9/12, 9/13, 9/14, and the months thereafter. So I do wanted to mention that. And then going forward, we have our art fair on October 4th. We got a lot of good feedback at our community booth at both street fairs. But for the rain, it would probably have been our banner day in collecting new names for our list. So, you know, thanks to the communications committee and for everybody who came out on those days. The art fair committee is really looking for volunteers. And the last thing I want to mention is we are in the midst of our district needs survey. If you read the patch this morning, they put our survey in the patch, a link to our survey. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks, we're going to get bunches of that. But on behalf of Gail and Felice, if you're a committee chair, please don't make them come to you again for your report. They're working very, very hard. And with that, I will throw it over to Will Wrightville to give, I believe, his last report as district manager. Will?
Hello, greetings everyone from Amsterdam. As most of you know, next Friday will be my last day at Community Board 8. So I want to say thank you to a bunch of people, and I'll try to be brief, just like I always say, I try to be brief. But first, I'll say thank you to Valerie for letting me stick around just a little bit longer to be able to say thank you to you guys directly, and while they're searching for my replacement, to make sure that we had a seamless transition, as seamless as possible. Truth is, I probably would have come to the public session to say goodbye, but I'm just glad I don't have the little timer across my face as I try. From the bottom of my heart, really, thank you to CB8 for taking a chance on me 8 years ago. I think that at the time, none of us could have predicted what the next few years would have had in store. To Valerie and to Russell and to Alita, thank you for never getting tired of me, or at least not getting too tired of me, and occasionally taking my advice. I'm so proud of all the strides that we made for this community. To the current and the former board officers and former board chairs, thank you for always being a resource and a font of sage advice. You were always a backstop to my sanity whenever things would be moving way too fast. And for that, I'll always be appreciative. Thank you to all of the current and former board members, whether we worked closely for years on your committees that you chaired, or we just met during the most recent appointment cycle. Thank you. Each of you brings a unique passion and perspective, and you are the ones who make the job fun. Learning from each of you has been such a pleasure. To the dozens of staff members and interns that I've had the privilege to hire, supervise, and watch mature, I'm so proud of the work that you've done and that you continue to do for the community and our city. Working with such a great team of dedicated public servants has brought me so much joy, both professionally and personally. To John and Jordan and our current crop of interns, thank you from the bottom of my heart for your tireless work during this transition to make sure that the ship stayed on track. I'm immensely proud of you. Thank you to everyone who has been so supportive of Holland and my adventure in setting out for Amsterdam. The notes and calls and texts that are filled with encouragement and support have made this scary and exhausting change into an optimistic and exciting adventure. And if you'll allow me one final piece of unsolicited advice as I go, I'd like to remind you all that as Harry said, we are just stewards of this office, of this board, and of those seats. CB8 was here long before we ever found it, and it'll live long after each of us are gone. So do your best each day to protect it, to nurture it, and improve it for those who will come after us. In everything you do, try to leave it at least a little bit better than when you found it. A statement that I hope that you all can say about my time as the DM at CB8.
Thank you. And in Dutch, good job.
Dankjewel.
Okay, now we move to number 8. I know, it sounds great. We're at the point in time where we are going to be selecting the election committee. And at this moment, a little refresher, the election committee is 5 community board members, none of whom have served in the past year on the election committee. And that's why you have this little cheat sheet right here to help you figure that out. So without further ado, you can self-nominate if you want to be on it, or somebody can nominate you to be on it. I'm looking at our parliamentarian and I'm reading his lips through the mask.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Addison?
I would like to nominate Miles Sink.
Okay. Anybody else?
Who?
Miles.
Wow.
Marco?
I would like to nominate John Phillips.
Okay. Who? John Phillips.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, I'll repeat. Peggy?
Gail Barron.
Okay. Wilma?
Barbara Retta.
Barbaretta? Okay. Anybody else with a nomination? Barbara Rutter?
I'm going to do Wilma.
Oh, okay. Wilma?
How many is that?
That's 5. Any more nominations? Oh, go ahead, Judy.
Move to close the nomination.
You're me there for a second. Second on that? Okay, so, we have 5 people: Miles Fink, John Phillips, Gail Barron, Barbara Rudder, and Wilma Johnson. We can do it by acclamation.
Yep.
Okay, everybody in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Fantastic. So there is our elections committee. At the end of the evening, if you can all meet and select a chair, and then we'll move forward. I'm sure you're familiar with our bylaws, and you can reread them and figure it out. Okay, super duper. Moving on to committee reports and action items. Street light. Abraham, I believe, is online, and Bill is going to help at the podium. We tried to put these together since we have 2 months worth of applications to try to move this forward. Right?
And Abraham's
So-
not here anymore.
He's not here?
No, he's not in the Zoom room.
Okay, well, that's helpful. Okay. All right, well, then, Bill, you and I did not rehearse this. So I think the idea is we'll try to go through these 10 items. And the idea would be take all the unanimous SLA approvals you have in your tablet, which ones they are. They're 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 1E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N from August. And in September, 1A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Do I have a motion from the floor to approve? My friend Chuck,
Call the question.
call the question, right? It's already on. Call the question. Second,
These are the SLAs.
SLAs. What's your problem?
To pull out the Mimi's one.
Right.
Number 8, that's something that's 2N.
No, it's, no, we're in number 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought
Okay.
that was you then.
No, we already pulled out Mimi's. We anticipated a little issue there. No problem. Anyone voting? Anyone voting? Everyone voting in favor? I'm sorry, Michael, you have a question? I'm sorry?
We're not doing dispensaries with this.
Not dispensaries. This is just unanimous SLA approvals.
Can't we do 1 through 4, all the unanimous at once?
I don't think everybody's gonna be in favor of that. Let's just at least get through the first one and then,
Yeah.
okay, let's see how it goes, people. All right. Okay, the question is called. Everyone in favor?
Second.
Okay. Everyone in favor? Okay, anyone opposed? Okay, all of those are approved. Now we're coming to item 2 on your cover sheet, which is unanimous DOT sidewalk cafe approvals. Okay, we pulled out the ones that were more than 24, okay? You have a question, Michelle?
Voting no on all of them.
Okay, can you make a note of that? Oh, wait, somebody got to call the question.
question.
Okay, Chuck.
Second.
Okay. Jane, did you have a question? No. Okay, all right.
The pizza.
Yeah, that's pulled out. Look at number 8, okay?
8.
Okay, everybody, that's why these go out early, so people can take a quick look at them. Thank you very much. Okay, so number 2, everyone in favor? Aye. Anyone against? Michelle is no on all. Duly noted. Anybody else? Okay, moving right along. Bill, help me out if I go crazy here. Okay, here we go. Unanimous DOT roadway cafe approvals. I'm asking, is the roadkill group gonna be unanimously against all 6 of these?
We need to.
We established with the roadkill, who the roadkill? Okay, everybody in the roadkill group, raise your hand.
In which group?
The roadkill.
That's you, Michelle.
That's you, Michelle.
Alita.
Jane.
Jane. David.
Don't forget Valerie.
Yeah, Valerie.
And Valerie.
And Adam Wall.
Oh, Adam Wall. Yeah, Adam Wall. Sorry, Adam, we didn't mean
And
to.
Adam.
Okay.
Oh, Abraham is on Zoom.
Who's on Zoom now? Yeah.
I'm happy to relinquish my role.
You're doing wonderful, Valerie.
Abraham, okay. Okay, thank you, Judy. Okay, now, here we go. Oh, Todd is on roadkill as well. Okay. Make a note of that for future meetings.
I'll call the question on it.
Okay, number 4.
Can I just wanna read over the list I have and make sure that I have everyone. Todd, David, Jane, Alita, Michelle, Valerie, and Adam Wall. And Gail, thank you.
Okay. Question, Jim?
Did we call a question on screen?
Yeah, we already did 3. We just did 3. We're up to 4 now. This is unanimous DOT disapprovals for non-attendance by an applicant. In August, that was 2H, 2R, 2AA, and in September, 2E, 2K, 2S, 2Y.
Call the question.
Okay, second, okay. Everyone in favor? Yes, meaning a disapproval? Okay.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, now, going to number 5. Sasha's favorite vote, non-unanimous DOT approvals for a sidewalk cafe with applications with more than 24 chairs.
Call the question.
These are non-unanimous. There were 3 of them, 11, 1, and 0, 2A, 2B, and 2I, 2I, sorry. Okay, motion?
Call the question.
Call the question? Okay. All right, those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I'm in favor of the 2. Where's Sasha? I can't see her. Okay, you're gonna be no on all of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure, you could change your mind.
So it's Sasha and Michelle that are doing this on them.
Okay. The next one is
Yeah, I got it.
number 7. This was from August. Ralph Lauren Retail, DBA Ralph's Coffee, a non-unanimous approval for a sidewalk cafe.
Did you miss it?
Yes, Jane.
Did you miss six?
Did I miss 6? I'm sorry. I'm going too fast. I apologize. Number 6, 2A. This is a non-unanimous approval for a sidewalk cafe. Ash Hill Inc. Doing business as the Raven Hub at 1471 First Avenue. Point of reference?
Whoever the no was, could they explain why they voted no?
Does anybody remember? Bill, do you have that?
And Abraham's on now, we said, so maybe Abraham.
Abraham, can you shed some light on that?
Back in August, I think there was someone commenting about, someone from public commented on, they had previously had, a little more expansive space on the outside, but I don't recall who voted the no. Give me 1 second.
Okay,
It's okay, it's
okay?
yeah, I was curious.
Okay. Call the question, second. Everyone in favor of the application for Ash Hill Inc., 1471 First Avenue?
It's easier if you take the nose.
Are there any no's? Okay. 2 no's?
Who are the names?
Michelle Burbaum and Alita Camp.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. All right, moving right along. Number 7 from August, 2 T as in Tom. Ralph Lauren Retail Inc. doing business as Ralph's Coffee at 888 Madison Avenue. This was a non-unanimous approval for a sidewalk cafe.
Question.
Call the
I have a query.
Okay,
I walk by there all the time. The tables that were closest to the street bed are now no longer there. I wonder if anybody could shed some light on that.
yeah, did that come up in the meeting? Robin? I'm sorry, Bill.
There with.
Oh, Abraham, do you?
Yeah,
do you
so
have-
the Ralph Lauren one, there was a member of the public who did not believe that the diagram presented for the sidewalk cafe was accurate. Both Marco and I went out and did measurements for it based on the new diagram, and we confirmed that even though there is a tree with overhang, the distances were clear, and the configuration would fit fit correctly within DOT guidelines as to what they're presenting.
Well, what I'm asking about, Abraham, is that now the tables that were closest to the street have been removed, and the outdoor cafe tables are now just adjacent to the actual building.
And I wondered why. I love the Parisian atmosphere of walking between the tables. And half the tables are gone now. Was that a DOT,
I mean, I don't recall what they, but yes, they are now to the building because they have to be within the to provide the clearance and have the space for, you know, pedestrians.
so those, they were told they couldn't have the other tables out there anymore?
Correct, that's right. They couldn't have, you couldn't have the area where you're walking through them.
Oh,
Yeah.
charming, you know.
Okay, all right, well, well, the question is anybody calling the question? Marco is calling the question. Okay, second. Everyone in favor of Ralph's Coffee, Sidewalk Cafe as newly presented? Okay, anybody opposed? All right, Michelle Birnbaum is a no. Okay. All right, now we're up to number 8, the matter we've all been waiting for, Mimi's Pizza. This was a unanimous approval in the committee, but since then, we've received a lot of constituent correspondence related to it. You heard some of it at the public session. So, Abraham, Bill, if you wanna.
Just a question, I know we've had a lot of email correspondence back and forth. Jordan, what's been like the latest response from the actual applicant on some of the things that we forwarded to them?
Yeah, so I spoke to the representative of the business who did confirm, at least in writing, that they moved their high top tables away from the tree bed because I was out of DOT compliance. And they did also confirm that all the tables and chairs that they now have on their sidewalk cafe is what's reflected in the site plan. So she did tell me that there isn't any more tables and chairs out there other than what was on the site plan submitted to us and to the DOT.
Okay. Gail, do you wanna say?
I guess as a point of information, the comments that were made, were those reflective of the prior condition or the new existing condition because they did move 2 doors down? At the beginning of September.
Gail is aware. Go ahead, Gail.
Several phone discussions and phone calls, and apparently even the not in front of their current footprint. And they really allow trash to stay on top of tables. There's a lot of problems, as Elaine pointed out, with rodents. And more importantly, they're doing it without approval. And apparently one of the residents of 225 called me and she said that their super has gone into Mimi's and asked that they rectify this, in particular moving the countertops and the tables, and oh yeah, we'll do it. So as of a couple of days ago, the tables were still by the tree pits. And that is a very problematic area. I mean, the city is now demanding that we have containers with trash to address the rodent problem. And if you start to have restaurants that are not, really being in a positive manner of responding, then I think we have a real problem. So I don't think that they should be approved. I think that they have been disingenuous and not honest.
Miles?
Well, could we potentially defer to the next street life, allow for more people to come and speak at the committee meeting and to allow the business to speak for themselves one more time?
Do we have time?
No, Abraham seems to be shaking his head ever so slightly.
I believe, what was there? Hang on, I'm looking at the date on what this was. I believe we needed to have an action, but, and also typically, the applicant has to agree if we want to roll them over once we've already taken an action.
Elizabeth?
Point of information, are they allowed to have begun operating outside in advance of approval?
Yeah, that was one of Aura's questions. I think the answer is no, right?
That's correct.
Yes, correct.
That's correct.
Thank you.
John?
Yeah, so I just pulled up an image of the meeting center. They're set up outside. There could be some legality issues with where they have it structured as well. So I think this is really a very straightforward point.
Okay. Judy?
I'd like to put a substitute motion on the floor.
Okay.
Disapprove, and I'd like to ask.
Second.
Well, somebody seconded it, they didn't speak.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
You said you spoke to them. How many days ago did you talk to them that they made the change?
I think it was.
Can you
2
repeat
days
what
ago.
you're saying?
She wanted to know when, they made the change, but basically what they did was they moved there were high tops around the tree pit, and they moved them back to.
Yes,
close.
but John is saying that he's looking at it now on the computer, and that's not what they did.
What date is on that?
That's not what they
Does
did.
it say the date of the photo on the?
So the amount of space between the tree pit and the existing, and the first one to see how many feet that actually is, number one. Number two is if they move the high tops, if the high tops are left where they are, that would not be within regulation.
Yeah, well, but they don't even have approval, so they shouldn't have anything out there, right? I mean,
That's why I put the motion on.
okay, all right, so there's a motion to disapprove on the floor. Second. It's been seconded.
Call the question.
Call the question? Okay. All right, everyone, this is a disapproval, so, is everyone in favor of disapproving?
Yes.
Is anyone in favor of approving? Okay, oh,
Wait,
Wilma?
You're in favor of approving?
Approving, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so that's one. So the application is disapproved. Number 9. This is Lyra of New York doing business as Luke's Bar and Grill. There was no action at the committee and the applicant may be in attendance to present during the public session, but I honestly did not hear that.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't approve. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What was your question?
I have no question. You wanna,
Well, tell us what you have out there.
On Zoom,
what do you have out there?
I have 4 tables, 8 chairs. We're going on our 35th year without any issues ever. On the Zoom, I was having some technical issues. And I was recommended to come to the full board meeting.
That's correct. We were having tech issues in hearing the applicant.
Right, I remember that. Yeah, okay. I think there was some, I'm sorry, what is your name?
Luigi.
Luigi, hi. When you came over to me and you said, I'm here, I didn't, sorry, I didn't realize that you were here. Okay. Right, no, okay, I'm sorry. All right, so are there any questions of, Lyra of New York doing business as Luke's Bar and Grill? Mr. Luigi?
Call the question.
Call the question? Approve?
There needs to be a motion.
Needs to be a motion. Motion to approve, second. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Oh, she's a no. Okay, well, no. I think you win anyway. Thanks for hanging out with us. Okay, this has been a really interesting September meeting. We're not even halfway through. Okay,
What's OCM?
number 10.
What's
This is
OCM?
an OCM, so this is a cannabis
Cannabis.
approval. It's a non-unanimous disapproval. And the reason is for non-attendance by the applicant. Okay, anybody? Marco?
Call the question.
Call the question, second. Okay, everyone in favor of disapproving this application? Aye. Anybody want to approve it instead? Okay, that's it. All right, number 10. So we're not voting on the other matters. You can see the layover, yada, yada, yada. Thank you very much. And I actually think this worked out pretty well.
Great. It was a great
Okay,
idea.
super.
Yeah, the summary sheet is great. Thank you.
Landmarks. Don't get ahead of you. Don't get ahead of yourself there. Okay, here we go. I'd like to make an announcement as the co-chairs come up. We have a new additional co-chair. Our co-chair emeritus decided to scratch out the emeritus on her name and come back as one of the 3 co-chairs of Landmarks. So I enthusiastically welcome her back.
Was that? No, I think it's more that Valerie, did she twist my arm or not? We do. She's looking for.
There's no violence.
Presentation.
There's no violence.
Yeah. In any case, I'll take the first item, 133 East 95th Street. This was, the committee felt was a really egregious violation. 5 stories, 16 feet in depth into the rear yard, really monolithic. We've never heard an application like this before. Most applicants will stop at the 3rd floor and they won't go out 16 feet. There was only one approval or an abstention. Was that you, Elizabeth?
I abstained.
Elizabeth abstained. Otherwise, the committee, disapproved.
Call it.
Second. Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? Guess we can go to a vote.
Is anybody gonna vote? You can do this.
Yes, is anybody gonna vote no?
It's a disapproval. Yeah. Is anybody gonna vote to approve?
No, it's a disapproval, and I think we have 2 votes
Okay,
against the disapproval.
okay.
Next up is Chuck.
Okay, well done on your first motion back, Shane.
And I didn't really need to show pictures of it.
All right, David, it's gonna be a hard act to follow.
Can we eliminate the people on the side so people can see the images? Take it all the way off, please. Anyway, the left is what you, this is 831-37 Madison Avenue. This is what Ward spoke about. It's a project that had 3 components to it. So just to show you what it looks like today, which is on the right, can we go next? 69 to 70. So what we're seeing here is we're seeing the new tower on the right, we're seeing the existing tower on the corner on the left. And we're seeing 3 buildings in between that are being restored above the first 2 floors. The first 2 floors are being adjusted in terms of the storefronts, but very close to what's original, what's there. And it's all tied in with the storefront of the new building. As it was discussed by Mr. Ross, it does go all the way to the property line in the back. He is correct. It is 4 stories. So let's go to the next. Just to give you some feeling for what this building is about. This is a modern building. And Landmarks does not disapprove of modern buildings. Landmarks, in fact, likes the buildings to be of their time and at the same time to be appropriate. So this uses beautiful traditional materials. It uses limestone, and then you can't see it somehow, but like many buildings, with the tall buildings on Madison, the front turn corner, and then you have the beautiful brick next to the limestone, which is sort of the gray brick that colors the limestone. And then you have the window frames and the railings, which are all done in a bronze color. Let's go to the next. And just to give you a quick idea of the base of the building, which is all retail, let's go to the next. And then this gives you a context. You can see the building on the right, you can see the building in one direction, and when you're looking uptown, when you're looking downtown, you can see that the building is really very comfortable with all the tall buildings, and it's very comfortable on Madison Avenue from the point of view of the mix of low rise and high rise. Now, this was almost unanimous. I think I was the only person who voted.
Davis,
Okay.
Christina Davis, and you. Christina.
That's right, Christina Davis.
Yeah.
So perhaps it wasn't properly fully understood what this is about at the Landmarks Committee meeting, but I'm hoping that people will rethink this. And of course, I am speaking for myself in this case.
Okay.
Marco?
Thank you. I raise an opposition. Thank you, Mr. Chair. My statement is this. The proposal 190-foot building is completely uncharacteristic with the historical district. It towers over neighboring buildings, most between 20 and 70 feet, and cannot be justified by comparison to much taller structures outside Madison Avenue. Those older buildings, built before historical protections were in place, are the same reason those protections exist. Approving this project would undermine preservation guidelines and set a dangerous precedent for future overdevelopment. And the design only deteriorates the issue. The stacked, uniform rectangular forms create a monotonous, heavy facade lacking refinement or identity. Its monotonous commercial designs would undermine the avenue's vitality and erase the dynamic connectivity created by the variety of street-level shops, whose lively cacophony is essential to engaging pedestrians. Our community deserves a project that respects the district's scale, intensify Madison Avenue's unique character, and contribute positively to the public realm. Thank you.
No deference. Just a clarification. The building across the street is taller than the building that's proposed. This building is in proportion to all the other tall buildings on Madison Avenue.
That's has to be advocated.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I had the opportunity.
Okay.
You may not like the
Jane, go
building,
ahead,
but
Jane.
the
Okay,
height of the building is the height of the building.
what?
Rita, I know you're gonna speak against it all.
Okay, all right.
But very quickly, because there's there's a building on the corner. So the tower doesn't really bookend the block as many other buildings on Madison or on other streets do. It leaves that beautiful historic building on the corner hanging out there by itself, much like an overlong tooth might disrupt the way a map looks with its teeth. It's not the same as the tower on the north side of the street, and that has not been emphasized or even really shown how that other building is overshadowed by this new modern building, which really has no context.
In the middle of
Okay, let's, go ahead.
Thank you.
Elizabeth.
I'd like to offer a substitute resolution and then seconded, I will speak to it. I would like to offer a resolution to approve this building.
Second.
And I'll first address, some of the specific comments that I've heard from those who oppose, but I may also speak a bit beyond that. And to the point that it is not on the corner and that a building remains, we cannot allow the order of buildings available for development, in this case, a truly no-style building in a historic district, to prevent the development as of right, given its location and zoning. That's not the purpose of land access protection. The second is that aesthetically, it is an attractive modern building that uses contextual materials. And as much as we do debate aesthetics, it is hard to argue that this is not a well-designed contemporary building that has taken care to reflect its surroundings. It's actually extremely similar to many buildings going up, including on Park Avenue further down, and others on the Upper East Side, where this same lighter stone and repetitive windows are being used, and I think actually to very good effect in our communities. But most importantly here, we can't require new buildings to be ersatz old buildings. That is equally bad to, bad design. And I think this is a well-designed contemporary building.
Can I just clarify, because Elizabeth, I think I wasn't clear. My point is not that there not be development, but that
You
the
understand
position
your
of the
point.
building.
Oh, wait, let's make it, please. Go ahead.
The position of the building calls for something different than what it might be on the corner. Not that they shouldn't develop it and we should have that not attractive, no style building, but that something else could be in its place that is not as disruptive, in my opinion. That's all. Thank you. Thank you, David.
It's an aesthetic opinion.
That's correct. That's what I said. Thanks.
It's just a point of information and can't quite understand. So it was disproved in committee, but we're being recommended to approve it now. Briefly, why?
There's been a change to the resolution.
Yeah,
The resolution is now a resolution to approve.
I just wanted to understand, I don't know, I wanted to understand the context of the change in it.
Right now, it's a resolution to approve.
Okay. Second.
Any more comments, Judy?
Question. Okay, I think we're gonna have to call the roll. All right, so we're gonna call the roll. This is a motion to approve this building. Okay, so a yes is a yes.
All right, Anderson. Yes. Andrews. Yes. Ashby. No. Barron. Bill. No. Berman. No. Horace.
Yes.
Ferrera.
Yes.
Alita.
No.
True.
No.
Faulkson.
Yes.
Farber.
Yes.
Fink.
Yes.
Hartside.
No.
Alderson.
Yeah.
Ferguson.
No.
Hussein. No. Johnson.
Yes.
Is Paul, is Cameron?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Later.
Yes.
Lev, yes. Mason.
No.
McLennan.
No.
Myerson.
No.
Partial.
No.
Phillips.
Yes.
Vice.
Peggy?
No.
Rose.
Yes.
Rudder.
No.
Salcedo.
No.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Stolzen.
No.
Sullivan.
Yes.
Slay.
Yes.
Squire.
Yes.
Stein.
Yes.
Tamayo.
No.
Wall.
Yes.
Warren.
Yes.
Weinberger.
Sam? I don't think it's him.
Um,
Oh, I think it's not gonna vote on this.
and Weenan.
No.
Alrighty, so the resolution passes 22 yes, 18 no.
You say it passed?
2218.
Daniel.
All right, next, please.
Number 3 is 821 Park Avenue. It was the storefront. I think there were a couple of speakers in the public session. It was a unanimous approval. Is there a motion? Marco.
Hold the question. Second.
All in favor, any opposed? I think we can just do it by acclamation.
The next one is 1143 Park. We already all talked about it.
Okay, wait, just a second. Hold on a second. Did we even get the question called there?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Wow, Jane, you were really setting the pace tonight.
Special note that had to be quick. And in any event, 1143 Park. These 4 little buildings have all been there over 100 years, unchanged. And the building that's one in from the corner is the 1143 Park that we're concerned about. Please go to the next. What's happening in this building is that they're doing a lot of work on the facade, but they're putting on a 5th floor. And to partially hide it, they're raising the cornice and changing it into a Greco cornice in terms of the applications. Let's go next. So here you see it in their rendering. So we're not sure just how much you would see from the street, and the rendering is at least honest in showing you that you're going to catch some of the windows next. And I think this tells you more of the truth, because they did do a mock-up, and you can see on the left that mock-up is quite visible. So that mock-up is also partly the cornice, so we want to be fair to it. But the bottom line is that it is going to be visible, and therefore, if the resolution was to disapprove. Any,
All the question? Okay.
anybody opposed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I.
But you're not a majority.
No, they.
Okay, so are we calling the roll or?
Yeah, okay, call the roll.
Call the roll.
Yes means no.
Yes means no.
Yes means no.
Anderson.
Yes is a disapproval.
Yes. Angelos.
Yeah.
Ashby,
Yes.
Barron,
Yeah.
Yes.
Birnbaum.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm having some computer issues. Here we go. Morris,
No.
Ferrero,
No.
Camp,
No,
Chu.
I'm sorry, yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, sorry. I was going with the flow.
Chu. Yes. All right, Paulson.
No.
Farber,
No.
Fink,
Yes.
Hartsock,
Yes.
Halpern,
Yes.
Christensen,
Yeah.
Hussein.
So no is an approval, right?
It's a disapproval.
It's a
Okay, yes, it's a disapproval.
Is it, okay, so no.
Okay, Johnson,
No.
Prickler,
No.
later, no, Lev,
No.
Mason,
Yes.
McClemens,
Yes.
Myerson,
Yes.
Partial,
Yes.
Phillips,
No.
Price,
Yes.
Rose,
No.
Rudder,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Snyder,
Yes.
Felixson.
Yes.
Salem,
No.
Slide,
No.
Squire,
Yes.
Stein,
Yeah.
Tamayo,
No.
Wall,
No.
Warren,
No.
Weiner.
Yes.
Okay, returning to the passes, it's Snyder,
No.
Squire,
Yes.
Stein,
No.
so it was 22.
I'd like to change my vote to, a yes.
Okay, so that makes it passes 23-17.
And we see the next slide?
Yeah.
Okay. This is 2060th Street, the Metropolitan Club. You all heard about it from their attorney. This shows all the work that they've been doing, year by year, keeping the club fixed up as they should. It's a landmark and they're obligated to do it. We go to the next. On the other hand, there still are a lot of problems, and this is typical of the kinds of problems you see. Let's go to the next. They happen to have an excellent proposal for their maintenance plan, and it is a very good maintenance plan. However, I think that I personally was glad at the meeting because I asked whether whether they had to come to us again with variance, which they do. However, they were not clear that they don't need a variance. They can do an 1,162 foot high building with a variance. They can do a 1,200 and some odd foot high building without a variance. So that's an unintended consequence of the city of yes. Be that as it may, I personally am changing my vote because I'm concerned about appropriateness, not necessarily whether the zoning should rule over what's appropriate. And I don't think that 1,200 foot tower on Madison Avenue at 60th Street is the right solution. So in any event, you now have a unanimous opposition to this. So
Valerie,
unanimous and opposed from the committee. Chuck.
Jane,
I have-
go ahead, you have a
I have a
question.
question. What was before the committee? Where is this?
What is
Yeah, no, that was,
What was before the committee?
Before the committee was to approve the plan.
So what does this have to do with, this is another building,
I'll
totally, right?
Because the purpose of the plan is to enable the transfer of the air rights.
Right. So what? They're getting this, is this their building? No, it's not their building, is it?
They can
They're
transfer,
transferring development rights.
they can transfer over
I
two
think
hundred thousand
Landmark, I
square
think,
feet.
needs an approval to transfer the air rights, Chuck.
But, or they have to approve that plan, I guess.
Yeah, that's part
But
of it.
that's not what's before us. I think it's.
Well, we tried to make that separation, but it's hard to make that separation. Because what they're doing, we can disapprove the plan because they've got to maintain that building anyway.
Jane, you had a question.
yes, I'm sorry, now sitting in the back. I'm stepping away and speaking as just a regular board member. It was a very disappointing, presentation on Monday night because Melanie Myers, who we know is a top landed for the city of Free Frank, would not answer what I consider to be one of the major issues here. How much is the Metropolitan Club getting for those air?
I don't think that's
The
relevant.
economic value of the air rights could not be addressed. For some reason, it's like very murky there. It's a private business arrangement and we weren't allowed to even go there. Thank you.
Michelle.
Yeah, I respectfully disagree with Jane that was of any, that it's our right to know that. However, I don't think, I'll speak for myself, no matter what it was, it is a business. That was not the reason for my decision. But I just want to just further explain, let me put it this way. What was before us was a restoration and maintenance plan for the Metropolitan Club. That's all that was before us. And the reason that was before us is because since the Metropolitan Club sold the air rights, which they were now allowed to do under City of Yes to skip a block, and now they're ending up, a block down, where in the past it had to be contiguous. So in order for them to sell those air rights and for that deal to go through, whoever bought the air rights has to present a preservation plan for the Metropolitan Club. Now, while all of us agree that we want the Metropolitan Club maintained and preserved, the feeling was that the Metropolitan Club is able to do that themselves financially, and that the price in terms of the community was too big a price to pay to allow what was going to be built on using those air rights, which would be over an 1,100-foot building. Under 10-foot standard, that's the equivalent of 110 stories on the corner of Madison and 60th Street.
Yeah,
It was Excel, but that's not relevant. We didn't think it was right for any developer. So the feeling, I think, of the committee, why this was a disapproval, is we weren't worried about what would happen to the Metropolitan Club. We know it will be taken care of, and we didn't want to give any boost or furtherance or acceptance of what the proposed new development will be. So I think this is a little bit of a stopgap. This is not to say that the developer isn't very savvy, very capable. He'll have all his ducks in a row, and that it will come before us. But even if we got a reduction in the height of that 1,100 feet, even if you reduced it to half, you're talking about a really big building and what it would mean on that corner. Hence the reason for the disapproval, and I urge all of you to support it because it will hurt nobody.
Okay.
So as I understand it, and as I think we've often been reminded, the landmarks committee looks at context and appropriateness. No one, as far as I can tell, is contending that the restoration plan of the Metropolitan Club is out of context or inappropriate. So the argument is we should vote against it because we disapprove of something else they're doing, which is the sale of air rights to a different building. And
But that's,
to the extent people think that that other building is inappropriate or whatever, if that's gonna come before us, we should vote on that at that time. If it's not, you know, I think we're getting out of our skis. and doing something that our issue.
appropriate.
I think it became our issue because they were not clear. They can do a 1,200-foot building as of right. And then the question is whether that's contextual and appropriate.
Who can?
Extel can build on that corner, they can build a 1,200-foot building using the air rights. What they want to do, just so you understand what they want to do, you can Google it. There are two options that Extel has. The one they're going to come to us for a variance. It's 1,116 feet high, 74 stories, and it's a fatter building. What they can do as of right, and they did not make that clear when I asked the question. What they can do as of right is a building that's 1,200 and some odd feet, that's taller and thinner. So I think that since they raised the issue of the air rights as part of their presentation, I think we have every right to think about whether those air rights are going to be used appropriately.
Elizabeth?
They wouldn't have come to us if that wasn't. the
Okay,
case.
no, I think, no, it's, the idea is, if the fact that we don't like the way they're gonna fund their maintenance program doesn't affect the landmark nature of the it doesn't matter if they could fund it on their own and they'd still need our approval for it doesn't matter where they're getting the money from for the maintenance program. That's what I think you guys are saying, and I agree with what you're saying.
That's what we're saying, yeah.
But Elizabeth, you had a question.
So we have very, very limited. And as a result, if we want to say something, sometimes we need to use whatever lever we have available to say it. So I'm kind of reminded of the case a couple of meetings ago where somebody is combining 3 townhouses into a single family and wanted our approval, needed our approval to harmonize the facades. And I led the charge and said, this is obscene, and this is the only opportunity we have to say anything about it. And I think this is a similar case. What we are seeing before us is something that is somewhat obscene. Metropolitan Club can certainly afford what they need to hear. A 1,200-foot tower, even an 1,116-foot tower at Madison Avenue and 60th Street is, for me, wholly inappropriate. And this is the only opportunity, or one of the very limited opportunities we have to say anything. And so I applaud the committee for actually taking the stand that they did.
Judy, you got your hand up. I see you.
Sorry, David.
I'd like to make a substitute motion, and if it's approved, ask the question. That is to approve,
Motion to approve.
a motion to approve. Anybody?
Did somebody just call the question or did I miss it?
No, nobody called the question.
Just second.
second?
Chuck,
I said.
Okay, thank you.
okay, as I understand it, and maybe I don't understand it.
Maybe you don't
correctly, so
understand.
Explain to me, but as I understand it, we're here to vote on the club itself and what it's doing. We're not here to vote on the corner building that may be built and may be big, and we don't like that. But that's not what, at this moment, what is on our landmarks agenda. Is that not right? Just.
Yeah, but
it's
this
just
wouldn't
the
have come
club.
to us if not for that.
What,
Is that, David, is that correct?
That's
or is
correct.
that incorrect?
that is correct, that is correct.
Wait a minute, I'd like an answer from David. I have the floor.
Okay,
But it
What's
wouldn't,
on the agenda now?
it wouldn't have
well, you
come
just
to us.
changed the motion.
No.
He made a motion and I asked a question of David.
Okay.
We should ask the question first.
I think the motion I made.
Going by memory, my memory is that what was given to Community Board 8 and what the issue was the approval of the plan. But what was presented to us was the plan and where the air rights were being transferred to. And so I showed you the plan and the.
Okay, that's, fine, but that's not what was the question from, the commission. Okay, and they're asking us to vote.
Well, this is not,
On
from the
the
com- this is not,
Metropolitan
this is
Club.
not from the commission, this is from
Okay,
the applicant. The applicant is not the commission. This is
Okay.
from the applicant.
Club, and they're asking us to vote on their issue that they put before us.
okay, that's
And
correct.
therefore, I am saying that in my estimation, we should be voting yes on that. If other issues come up in the future, we have a chance to vote no.
But if they-
That's just my opinion.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor to
But did you
approve the
make that
plan.
resolution?
Yeah, she
has. You made a motion and Chuck seconded it.
Can we add a whereas?
It's not a friendly amendment,
Says
it's another
approval
resolution.
Of the maintenance
This is
program
incorrect.
should
We
not
don't
be
have to
construed
vote
as
on this.
approval of the other building.
Accepted.
Can we?
But that's not
have
part of the
Elizabeth
plan.
on this?
What's that?
That's not part of the plan. The funding isn't part of the plan.
But
I just, for avoidance of doubt, if
Whereas.
people are concerned about that, we can add and say, we're just talking
And
about.
part of the plan is to fund it. They have to have an endowment for the plan.
Yeah,
Right, they have to have an endowment,
wouldn't
but
have
doesn't
come
say
to
it
us
either
if
comes
not
from
for that.
Excel or their own members. They're just saying they're gonna create an endowment. They're not gonna, they're not telling you how they're gonna fund it.
but
They made a mistake when they came before you by
whatever.
mentioning that they were gonna fund the endowment by.
No, that's
using
what the statute says.
No, that's what.
What's number 74, whatever it is, it wouldn't have come to us if not for that.
If not
That's
for
why
what?
they're in,
If not,
if not for the transfer of the air rights and the new building. That's why, it's like a 74, 711, what, but what's the number?
It's the old,
Get the
it was
number.
the old,
But
the old
it wouldn't have
74.
come to us, it's entwined.
go ahead, Adam.
Michelle means to reference the old 7479, which has been replaced by the new 7542.
Yeah,
And
that's.
we are not, we have to separate between the requirements under 7542, which maybe everyone should have in front of them and look up and see. We're not asked to comment on the appropriateness of the receiving site development. All they have to show is that they have the calculations in order to facilitate the transfer. Is the landmarks committee and then the whole board is required to comment on 75-422 B, I have Romanet B, and then 2 and 3. We're not required to comment on the appropriateness of the receiving site development. And I think we're going to have potentially dozens of these in the next 3, 4, 5 years. And we need to consider, what we do here going forward. Some of the transfers are going to be individual landmarks that really need to do the transfer in order to survive. And we need to be able to be careful about the precedent we're setting here.
But Adam, are we, as part of why they're in front of landmarks is because they are permitted to transfer the air rights, but only with the approval of landmarks?
No,
See,
only
this is-
by
this
with
is
the
an
approval of
as-of-right.
this.
Excuse me, this is an as-of-right transfer.
It's only with the approval of this.
As of right transfer.
I think we don't have to approve the receiving, it's only at the approval.
But they need this in order to
This
transfer the air
as-of-right
rights.
To show that they can do the maintenance.
Standing is this is an as-of-right transfer. And when you do the as-of-right transfer, you have to have a maintenance plan. And
That's all we're commenting on. What we're
So it's
commenting on is whether the
It wouldn't
maintenance
have come
plan.
to us otherwise, if not for the transfer.
Okay, go ahead.
You like Elizabeth?
Can I just say for what Elizabeth Rose said? I've always felt that this board should not do things which makes us look like we don't know what we're doing, frankly. And we don't do that usually. But I think here is a case where if we vote this down, and I don't like these big tall towers either, I'm not crazy about them. That has nothing to do with it. If we vote, we were asked to do a specific thing. And that was what was sent to us. There may be other ramifications of it, which for all kinds of things that Adam was talking about it. But what we were asked to do was in what he cited before, that 75, whatever it was. And if we think that that's right, then we should approve it. We shouldn't just say no to it because we can't stand that big building.
And I believe this is the opportunity to comment on whether we think the scope of the proposed work is appropriate or not. So maybe they say, and they're only gonna do a bunch of half measures to fix, 40% of this or 60% of this. I think that's what we're required to comment on. The Landmarks Committee is required to comment on, and then the full board is supposed to comment on, not the appropriateness of the receiving site. It's what the scope and whether the scope that they propose is appropriate.
The plan itself is comprehensive. I don't think we have any issues with the plan itself. The issue is with where the air rights are going. And I think Elizabeth has been waiting.
Wait, go ahead. Say, David, that I accepted Russell's friendly amendment to the resolution.
Which is, say it again, please.
To add a whereas clause to say that approval of this, the proposal that's before us shouldn't be construed as approval of the other building.
Okay, Elizabeth Ashby.
Yes. This transfer under these particular circumstances is part of this plan. This is required to do what the developer wants to do, which will come along. And we may or may not hear, this is, but it's not just let's say the Metropolitan Club, and have it air rights that they can transfer in any legal way. This is a particularly specific type of transfer in order to accomplish what the developer told us was a proposal to build an 1,100 foot.
And we may never hear
tower.
I understand that.
So this is just part of it.
But does everybody else understand it?
Second.
No. We're done. We're done. We're voting on calling the question. She wants to make another point. I'm telling her no.
The money they're getting is in excess of the amount of money they need to maintain the building.
Okay, guys, there's a motion on the floor to call the question. Alita, please, please.
Temper.
Well, you're not listening.
I am.
Called the question.
Not a child.
Well, she seems like she's acting like one, but she's not answering. All in favor of calling the question? Is anybody opposed to calling the question?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's one person. Okay.
Okay, Anderson.
Well, what is the question now?
It's to approve. It's to approve.
Approve with Russell's.
Yes, friendly amendments.
This is
Angela,
a substitute vote.
That is correct.
Yes.
That's correct.
Ashby,
Absolutely no.
Okay.
Barron,
No.
Birnbaum,
No.
Flores.
Yes.
Barrero. Okay, Camp,
No.
Chu,
No.
DJ, Watson,
Yes.
Barber, yes. Fink,
Yes.
Hartzog,
No.
Halpern,
No.
Christensen,
Yes.
Hussein,
No.
Yes.
Hugh Johnson,
Yes.
also here?
Yes.
Yes. Craig,
Yes.
Lev,
Yes.
Mason,
No.
McClement,
No.
Meyerson,
No.
Partial,
No.
Phillips,
No.
Price,
No.
Rose,
No.
Rudder,
Yes.
Salcedo,
No.
Sanchez,
No.
Schneider,
Yes.
Seligson,
No.
Sellum,
No.
Slade,
Abstain.
Squire,
Yes.
Stein,
Yes.
Tamayo,
No.
Wald,
Yes.
Warren,
Yes, yes.
Weiner, no. And, it does not pass, 21 to 17.
Okay,
the original, motion.
okay, and we're gonna do a flip?
Just
Yeah,
do it
we
for-
just-
Okay, it's a CBA flip, just,
It's, the extension.
are you still going to abstain?
It would make a difference.
Okay.
Sam is trying to speak.
Oh, Sam didn't vote. Sorry, Sam. Did you call in, Sam?
We can't vote.
I'm sorry, Sam. Can you
Hello.
unmute?
I vote yes. Thank you.
Yes, me too.
On the approval?
We're on this.
Well, on the first one,
It isn't possible.
it didn't, what was the vote?
Sanchez, you were,
He was yes.
he was a yes, okay. So I have-
No, he was not.
He was a no.
He's right there. He can tell us what it was.
No.
Okay,
He was no.
He voted no.
Bill was a yes.
Yes, we have him, yeah.
okay.
Oh.
And Sam.
It didn't pass.
Okay, so
So
it's just
flip it
gonna be a
over.
flip. Okay, all right. Now, thank you very much. I think we're done,
It's a
right?
disapproval.
Yes,
Have to know what to do with the resolution.
correct. It's a motion to, it's a disapproval.
Ready for transportation?
Yes, we are more than ready for transportation. Thank you.
Oh, I have learning and development next.
I know we're.
Just
Can
hit your
anybody, can
mic.
everybody hear me?
No, I don't think it's on.
But he's loud enough.
Hello?
Just give that one.
Is the battery dead here?
Yeah, it's,
Hello? Yeah.
we're gonna,
Okay, look, I just do want to take just 1 minute to thank Will for all of his great help, specifically to us at transportation. Not just with the board, but we've had hearings with 200 and 250 people, and he's managed that beautifully. And he's really helped us run the committee best we can, and he's been a terrific person to work with, and we want to wish him very much success. We're gonna miss him.
Thank you, Chuck.
Okay. We have item 2, this is the presentation by the New York 2025 New York City Fair Network optimization and proposed changes on the Soundview route serving East 90th Street. That's Soundview up in Bronx going to 90th and going down into Brooklyn. And what they're gonna do, they're guilty of too much success. There's been so many people who have been on riding these ferries that there have been problems with long waits and people crowding on boats and stuff like that. So they wanted to redesign this. And so what they're essentially, and by the way, we had to persuade them to hold the comment period open. The Economic Development Corporation wanted to close everything down, but they agreed to then make a presentation and they're gonna make a decision for it on September 30th. So what we do here affects that. And so what they're doing is they're gonna combine the Soundview route and the Rockaway route, which goes all the way down in the Rockaways. And they believe that that will, even though it's a long route, that will help, speed things along a little bit. There'll be less crowded boats. And, they think that's gonna work better. Now, there was some disagreement in our committee by an expert who I respect very much, and that's my co-chair, Craig. And Craig went on to, in fact, this passed 10-1 in the committee, and Craig was the lone vote, but why don't you, and then we'll step down and make comments, so I'm sorry.
All right, thank you.
basically, the proposal, if you're thinking about it from the perspective of we're going to get a new connection to the Rockaways and to Sunset Park, sounds great on the surface. The issue is that the Soundview route, especially in the summer, is already overcrowded to the point where there is frequent, it's a frequent occurrence where people cannot get on boats at East 90th Street because it's so popular. And they, being New York City EDC, did not really make a case as to why this is good, except for the fact that it's going to provide us an additional connection, because it's not going to provide any additional service, not going to do anything to alleviate overcrowding, and I believe, based on my experience with this type of thing, that it's going to create more issues with overcrowding on the Soundview route, because the Rockaway route is immensely popular, and there are going to be many people in this community that are trying to get on a boat at East 90th Street. And a core tenet of any type of transit operation is the longer the route, the more unreliable it is. And this is going to be a 2-hour route from Broad's Neck and Soundview in the Bronx, all the way down to the Rockaways. That's just going to result in increased opportunities for unreliable late service that also, snowballs and creates additional issues with overcrowding if you fall behind. So I think this is actually going to be a detriment to our community and the service there. I think they should have tried to combine the Rockaway route if they were trying to do it for efficiency purposes with the Astoria route. So it wouldn't be as long, and the Astoria route isn't as popular as Soundview route. And I think that's something that they should consider, and that's why I oppose this.
Yeah, and they basically said they were gonna look at the Astoria route in the future, but they, they're down the path on this, and they think right now that's the best way to deal with the situation, and the committee essentially agreed with that, so it was 10-1. Comments, thoughts? Yeah, Judy. Second? Okay. Yes.
About, like, does the Rockaway line run not in the summer? I know there's the Rockaway Rocket.
Yeah, the Rockaway Rock is still gonna continue.
Okay, and that would just be the Wall Street to Rockaway?
Yeah, they're still going to
And then
be the different
this
Rockaway
line,
services.
17 line would just be like the two.
Yes, so you get the rocket section.
Yeah. The Rocket is a premium, more expensive express route, reservation-based service.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, the question's been called, so. Okay, all in favor of calling the question? Aye. Okay, is anyone opposed to this? Besides? Okay. Abstention.
I agree with Craig's.
Okay, so we'll call the roll.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Anderson,
Yes.
Angelos.
Yeah.
Minor technical difficulty. Okay, Ashby,
Pass.
Baron,
Yes.
Birnbaum,
Yes.
Flores,
Yes.
Tanya left, Camp,
No.
Chu,
No.
Foxen,
Yes.
Barber, no. Fink,
Abstain.
Hartzog,
I don't know where he is.
Halpern,
No.
Christensen,
No.
Hussein,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Brickler,
Yes.
Craig, Zamir, no.
Correct.
Lev,
Abstain.
Mason,
No.
McClement,
No.
Myerson.
No.
Partial,
No.
Phillips,
No.
Price,
Yes.
Rose,
No.
Rudder,
Yes.
Salcedo,
Abstain.
Sanchez,
No.
Schneider,
Yes.
Seligson,
Abstain.
Salem.
Abstain with cause.
Well, you can't
So is that
abstain with cause. You
not-
can just not vote for cause.
No.
Can you tell us why, please?
Work at EDC.
Okay, that's fine. We'll note that.
Slade,
Yes.
Squire.
No.
Stein,
No.
Tamayo,
No.
Wald,
Yes.
Warren,
Yeah.
Weinberger. Sam here?
Yeah, he's on.
Some technical difficulties, yes. Thank you.
Weiner.
Yes.
Okay, and then on the passes, Ashby,
Yes.
Boris,
No.
I'm changing to a yes.
okay. And Hartsock. Ed's not here?
I don't know where he is.
Sherry, what was your vote again? Sherry, your vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that me?
And Russell, you switched to a yes?
Yeah.
Okay, it passes 18-16.
No.
I don't think.
Really with the abstentions?
I won't tell everyone till after the vote that he did write his thesis on fairness.
Wait, I don't think that's
Wait.
right. Felicia, are you sure Addison thinks he has a different calculation? Hold on, everybody.
18 yes, 16 no, 4 abstention and 1 not voting for cause. So of the people voting, there's fewer yes votes than total
Then
votes.
it,
So
with the abstentions and the no's, it doesn't pass. Yeah,
Good.
yeah, no.
Right.
Okay.
it was 18 yes, 16 no, 4 abstentions and 1 not voting for cause. So you're-
Yeah, the original motion.
No, it
failed.
doesn't. No. Yeah,
No, it's not approved. Cause it-
right, yes.
Oh, I didn't realize there were.
Yeah.
So let's flip it.
We're gonna do a CB8 flip.
If we
So we're
flip
gonna-
it, it's not gonna pass
It's not gonna pass.
unless the abstentions change their.
That's fine, let's ask.
Do any of the abstentions want to change their vote on the,
Can I say something?
yeah.
I'm somebody that takes the ferry a lot. And I would love, the one reason I didn't get to Rockaway is you have to get off for Wall Street, you have to wait for another thing. This would open up a whole new entertainment for us and a way to get around. Do you understand that if you wanna go to Rockaway, which I did once, and it's great, and the ferry ride is great, it's just a wonderful thing to do. That we now need 2 ferries, and this is saying we could take 1 ferry. When you say it's crowded, nobody says we shouldn't have subways because they're crowded.
The ferries are different because, you're not allowed to exceed the capacity of the vessels
I
because
tell
of.
you, all the
of-
times
of
I've gone on the
lifeboats,
ferry,
they-
I've never
they
seen
do
it that
strict-
crowded.
it's happened.
To Rockaway? To Rockaway?
I haven't
Ferry
been to
on
Rockaway yet.
99th Street.
They are.
Okay, we honestly, we don't have time for this. I'm sorry. I wish we had time to do this, but we don't have.
Anyway.
The question. Okay.
Any of the abstentions are gonna.
Yes. So if you're doing the CB8 flip, which would make it
A
16,
disapproval.
a disapproval, so you have 16 disapprovals, 4 abstentions. I'll change my abstention to a yes for the disapproval.
Okay, so.
Okay. Abraham.
Yes.
We could just call the roll.
Anybody else? Okay, you want to?
Oh, how many, you still have?
Okay, we're gonna call the roll for the disapproval, okay?
I don't think that works. You still have 3 abstentions. That's only 1 abstention. That doesn't work.
We're gonna wind up with a no action if the people who are
They
abstaining.
were 4.
That's fine.
Okay, that's all. Okay, everybody realizes we're not weighing in on this. Okay, okay, fine. That's it. We're moving on. What's your next, what's your next?
That's it. We're done.
Okay, thank you so much. I know that. We have to be out of here by 10 and we have quite a bit of business to get through. Yeah, I know.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So those of you who need more sustenance, please avail yourself of Elizabeth's bounty in the back there.
Delicious.
That was very nice.
Thank you. And Felice and I would also like to thank Will for all that he's done for us over the years. We can't say enough. And enjoy Amsterdam.
Okay.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Felice.
Okay,
Please.
okay, our motion. Let's start with 24 Sycamores Park. Let me just say that when we had the original meeting with the Parks Department and they presented to us, we had a large turnout from the community. And this plan that they just presented to us this month was based on what the majority had to say. I don't think this is working. Based on what the majority had to say at that initial meeting. And in this meeting, it's always, it seems now, it's always the pickleballers versus everybody else. And I had a long discussion with Michelle Bell, who got cut off tonight twice today on the phone. And I said to her, you know, 20 years ago, there was no pickleball. I said, times change, sports change, parks have to change along with what's going on in our community. And a lot of people said that tonight that spoke, there was no room for the community. I don't know if you looked at the drawing that was in the minutes tonight. And there is plenty of room for the younger children and the older children to play. Felice and I have, over the last couple of years that we've been co-chair, we've gotten a lot of requests for adult fitness activity. So Parks felt that this was the proper place to put it. So it's here now. The only change that I would make to this resolution, you looked at the minutes, we have a number of bullets of what was discussed in the community. And the last bullet is opposition was raised to the installation of permanent pickleball courts and the reduction in the number of basketball courts, etc. I would put that in as the last bullet point under therefore be it resolved. So that the Parks Department, when this goes to them, if we approve this, knows that there weren't people at this last meeting that came that were opposed to it. Okay, I have to say the meeting was well posted, and a lot of these people who said they didn't know about it, if they were in the park, they would have known there was a meeting tonight, and they would have known there was a meeting on the second Thursday, and they could have attended. And this has all come about as a last minute.
Appreciate that. I heard, okay.
Well, I think the big complaints are coming from children and students who don't know who we are and don't know how to join the Zoom meetings, to complain that their spaces are being potentially taken away for play. And I think that's something to consider, because in that initial meeting, there was a ton of support. And now I think that the word has spread out and kids are hearing that their space might get taken away and they only have half a court to play basketball, which from my experience is not enough. I think now they're kind of saying to their parents like, hey, mom, what's going on? Can you come and say something? And I think that's kind of the case here.
Okay, Barbara?
I want to say, Judy, that I voted yes, but uncomfortably at the meeting. Pickleball people, if anybody needs anybody to push an issue, choose a pickleball person. Twisted, oh, they're now going to allow a group of children to come and so on. There is something about free play, not the slide or the seesaw, but the basketball and playing around. I feel sympathy for the mothers for the parents, for the caregivers of the children that say their stuff is being taken away. There's lots of places for pickleball, including Grand Central Station and I mean, it's just all over the place.
So are you?
I just want to know from you and Felice, given the givens of this evening, where do you
co-chair stand.
Well, it's always a challenge to balance out the competing needs, and I think the Parks Department has really tried to. In what is a relatively small park, figure out how to balance everybody's needs, and they did also do a visioning session. And invited the community in, which I'm gathering not everybody went to hear what those priorities were. So they tried to fit in, they're in a small park, tried to find a way to fit in everybody's needs. And I think that's why Judy suggested adding that there were some concerns about removing the full basketball court to provide the Parks Department with some additional flexibility and concern and understanding the concerns that have been raised about the
What are we
issue.
asking them to do?
Also, I want to say, and I said at the meeting, some of the high school students, St. Catherine's Park isn't that far, and they have at the moment 6 courts, they will have 4 courts. So there are other places that they can go to play basketball. We got one letter or note to the community board where a fellow complained that there were 50 players in a day. Now, this is a park in my area, and I've gone there, and I've spoken to a lot of people, and no one's ever seen 50 players in a day at that particular park. Okay, I have to confess, the gentleman in the back, I don't know your name.
But,
Gary Kessler, I spoke.
no, okay, you can't speak at this. No, wait, Russell's had his hand up from the very beginning.
Well, so now I'm confused about what we're saying, because I think the addition that you're talking about to note the opposition related to the basketball court, I think we as the board have to make a decision of, do we want them to cut it to a half court in order to make the pickleball courts permanent, or do we not want to do that? I don't think we should note something in a resolution to the Parks Department and leave it up to them to do it. It's our job to tell them what our preference is.
Well, I
So they
think
may
we're
not-
telling them what the community is saying. That
No, we're
was the
telling
point of
We're
it.
supposed to, I mean, we're telling them.
That's why we're having this meeting, Judy, is that we've been listening to the community and we're supposed to tell them what we,
Why do
yeah.
we have to make a recommendation of doing
Well, then
this or not?
Then get on into it.
Well,
In
it's
this
amend that, please.
resolution, I
Call the question.
am for, I personally, somebody asked at the meeting. I personally.
So we have to vote on this resolution, so we vote no.
Okay.
Miles?
Speaking of the basketballs, I grew up playing that. There's 6 courts, 3 of them are full size, 1 of them has a net at all times. You have 1 court where you can actually play at St. Catherine's Park, which is the only place to really play basketball. And because of that, I think that we should send back and say, listen, the community wants more basketball courts, the children. Go. And I think that is from what we've heard from the community and everyone here, that's the natural way to go about it.
Okay, so do we want to change this resolution, change the approval to say the approval proposed, but with the addition of more basketball?
But then that's not what they proposed.
More nets, basketball nets and fewer pickleball. nets?
No, I just, we're
I'm
either
asking
approving
one
their
question.
plan, we're either approving the plan that they presented, or we're not approving the plan that they presented. And we're telling them, if we disapprove it, then we're telling them they need to come back to the drawing board, talk more to the community and figure out what the right redesign is.
Victoria, that the community knew about these meetings.
No, I don't want to assume that.
February, March, we don't take our kids to the
No,
playground. It's crazy.
these meetings.
They were posted.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Okay, you're not allowed to, I'm sorry, but the rules of the road here are, you're not, that you didn't, no, that's okay. I understand that your enthusiasm and I cut you off in your last 15 seconds, so I apologize for that, but
I mean, the park was posted about the meeting.
yeah, I know, but that's,
Brad, he hasn't spoken.
Sure, thank you. I want to make 2 points here. One, the Parks has done a very thought out and well thorough plan on this park and all the parks in the neighborhood. As a pickleball player myself, just to begin with, like there are very few and very seldom places to play pickleball that's an actual court that is free. People say, oh, there's pickleball in Grand Central Station. you have to pay $100 an hour to play in those places. Most of the places on the island of Manhattan that are pickleball courts are run by conservancies. They're not Parks Department courts. So they have all sorts of regulations and other rules and things like that. But the Parks Department, Carl Sheridan has a conservancy as well, but the Parks Department is working to look at this from not just the Upper East Side, but really to address pickleball as a whole throughout the island of Manhattan. And I also want to know, this is a really well thought out plan, even down to the type of plants that are going to be in the park are bat deterrent plants. I mean, there's really a well thought out plan here to address children ages 5, ages 10, 15, senior equipment, and all sorts of things. So I just want to put that in perspective, that this is something bigger than just this little few blocks that the park exists, but really bigger than that, the Upper East Side and the island of Manhattan as a whole.
Jane, call the question.
Second.
Okay.
Let's just do the roll.
Was, you're calling the question as it was originally.
Second,
Somebody seconded.
I did.
Okay, thank you, Michelle.
Okay, remember Sam is on,
I think you need to call the roll.
Yeah. All right, Anderson. No. Angeles.
No.
Ashby.
Yes.
Barron.
No.
Birnbaum.
No.
Boris.
Sorry, I'm confused. Are we voting?
you're either
Yeah,
voting
or-
for the plan or against it,
Okay.
as presented.
Yeah, I'm for it. Okay, so I'm voting no.
Okay, thank you.
Camp. No. Chu.
No.
Bolton.
Yes.
Barber.
Yes.
Fink.
No,
Hartzog. Holborn.
No.
Hershenson.
Yes.
Hussein. Johnson.
Pass.
Crickler.
No.
Later.
No.
Love, pass. Mason.
No,
McLennan.
No.
Myerson.
No.
Marshall.
No.
Phillips.
No.
Price.
No.
Rose.
No.
Rudder.
No.
Salcedo.
No,
Sanchez.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Spelton.
No.
Song.
No.
Slide.
No.
Slide.
Slade.
I'm sorry.
Todd. No.
Okay, Squire.
No.
it's been a long night.
Stein.
Stein, now you.
No.
And Tamaya.
I know.
Wald.
No,
Warren.
No.
Weinberger.
No.
Wiener.
No.
To the passes, Johnson.
Abstain.
I'm going to vote no, and I believe that that is it, so.
Okay, so we're gonna do a flip.
But how about?
No, I
putting
think
a
it
motion
should be-
for
I was gonna do that.
And write to Parks telling them why we're disapproving it.
That
Why
was
can't we just
the,
disapprove that part of it? Isn't there a whole other?
No.
that's what I was gonna do, put a substitute resolution on the floor.
But we already can't, what substitute resolution? We just voted.
All
on the
right,
res-
then leave it, disapproved.
Okay,
That's fine.
But Valerie, on the substitute resolution, I'd like to state in there why we're disapproving
You
it.
can write a letter,
Rest of it.
Yeah, right.
write a letter about what the reflection was and what we'd like to see.
You have the chance.
we
I
have,
have a question. What, so as I understand it, this thing with the conflict between the basketball court and the pickleball is one element and like one quadrant of the plan. So why can't we do a resolution that says we approve of the rest of it, we disapprove of replacing the basketball court with pickleball?
because the plan was presented as a total plan.
Right, like.
We didn't
but they
say
have
like
to go
A,
back.
B, and C, and then.
Space.
Yeah,
We voted on it, we have a resolution.
You can't take a whole plan and say, I approve of this piece.
Yeah,
disapprove of
correct.
that.
The measurement.
You gotta look at the total.
One at a time, please.
You have a vote.
Chuck,
Why don't we do what I think was suggested before, is disapprove and say they had to go back and talk to the community and come back. with-
Yes, that's,
Exactly.
so we'll do a flip of the vote, a
Right.
flip of the vote saying, we have heard from the community, we disapprove what was presented and we urge you to come back to the community and have a much more broad discussion about what, and come back to us with a new plan.
I second that
More
resolution.
specific? Yeah, I don't understand why we're gonna say, give more feedback, or this is not. the
Okay,
feedback
well,
is-
okay, the feedback can
the
be,
Feedback is, we don't wanna replace the basketball court with the pickleball. court.
okay, but
That's-
as I understand it, that was like 90% of the plan.
No, it's not.
Okay.
But you can't.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. We can specifically point out that that was our point of contention.
That's what-
Yes, okay,
Yeah,
all right, fine. Next,
Okay, moving along.
Basketball,
done.
that's the two pickle.
yeah, I know, we voted no. Okay, what's it, you have your next,
I second Valerie's motion.
Okay, so.
all right, I got another letter to write, okay.
We're done.
Are we done? Do you have another?
They have two more.
They have two more.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so.
You have 5
wait a minute,
minutes.
we didn't Vote on Valerie's motion.
Yes, we did there.
We did.
She's flipping it. She's flipping it
Flipping.
with that caveat.
How many chairs do we have now?
Flipping the vote.
Okay.
Okay, so moving on, and I'd like to propose to take both of these, as one, if the Central Park Conservancy wanted, the approval from the community boards for their plan to restore Bethesda Fountain, and the area around it, and then they also needed to do some work around, Grand Army Plaza, which I didn't realize was not just Grand Army Plaza in Brooklyn, but the section on the northern end of the park at 59th Street. There's Grand Army Plaza, there's some lighting improvements. And so they requested a resolution for both, and I'd like to take them both together if there's.
This will come to law.
Yeah.
Call a question on both.
But,
We're
before
taking
you
them
call the
together.
question,
Right.
Valerie, I think that this should have also come to landmarks. They're doing lighting, they're doing street furniture. Central Park is a landmark and
It's not going on anymore.
yes, it could have,
Yeah, if it
yes,
didn't
it
go to.
can, it can go to, we can vote on
Wait a minute,
the
if it
parks.
didn't go to if we didn't get a referral from landmarks, we just can't make it up and put it in landmarks. I mean,
And Michelle, I want to tell you the reason they would like a resolution from us tonight, yes or no, is because they are going to landmarks either next week.
I'm not saying we shouldn't have a resolution from parks. I'm not saying that. I'm saying is it should have been jointly done with landmarks and we can still request that it come to the landmarks committee. And you
Okay,
can
but-
have your resolution.
okay, let's
If
just,
that happens, it will be after it's voted on by the landmarks committee
What is their date?
this month, the
Well,
end of the
we
month.
can ask them to postpone.
we didn't get.
That
a-
happens.
They're in the middle of construction and they had to come up with
And
a high.
Okay,
If you read this,
no,
the reason they came up with a new light pole was the existing photo cell on the existing pole, the DOT could not service anymore, and they therefore needed to have.
Not
a totally
disputing any
new-
of that. I'm not disputing, excuse me, she's
Michelle,
talking to me.
Yes, but you told.
I'm not disputing what you're saying. I'm not disputing their reasoning. I'm only saying that whenever they have an aesthetic change to a landmark, they come to the landmarks committee. This doesn't mean they shouldn't have gone to parks, and it doesn't mean we can't vote on your resolution tonight. But it does
are
mean
voting
that
on
we
the
could
resolution
request that they
right
come to
now.
landmarks, that's all.
Okay, we're voting on two resolutions, we're taking them together. Are we approving them by acclamation? Anybody voting no? We will look into the landmarks piece, tomorrow. Thank you very much, street fairs, Wilma, Barbara, take it away.
Oh, I'm sorry. This will be 2 seconds.
Okay,
Two street fairs, it's, unanimous for both. One was
Addison.
Marymount and the other was PS 158. Thank you, Louise, forever and ever.
call the question.
Second.
Right.
Okay, everybody in favor of these fabulous street fairs? Thank you.
I'm voting no.
She's voting no.
On Marymount.
Okay,
No.
thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. Okay, new business, Mr. Later. Yes. Go ahead.
All right, I would like to make a resolution and if seconded, speak to it. I would like to make a resolution honoring and recognizing the service of Will Brayville as our district manager for 8 years. Second.
Okay,
All right, so Will, I think you get a sense of how much we all value you, and I know that we are time constrained here, so I think there will be other opportunities in the future for us to express that, but on behalf of the board, I want to just say how much we have greatly appreciated your professionalism, your expertise, your sage advice, your willingness to participate in all meetings at all times, and when we get to CB8 after dark, like tonight, you're still there with us, you're still patient, you're still helping us get through it, and it's going to be really hard to replace you, and we're gonna be talking about that very shortly,
but we only have 20 minutes to do
and it's
it.
hard to imagine, but I think it is, we cannot conclude this meeting without making sure that we paid due respect to you and wanted to put this resolution out there.
Thank you.
Okay, the question's been called, all in favor? Acclamation, aye, let's have a resounding voice vote. Okay, now we're gonna move to executive session, so I ask all public members and general public to leave, including our community liaison person. And the only people who are gonna stay on the Zoom are any members that we have.
Yeah, so I'll be kicking everybody who's not a board member off of the Zoom. So if you are not a board member, you can save me a few seconds of kicking you out by leaving. Thanks everyone who's doing so.
Hey, Will, are you gonna end the live stream too?
Yeah, go ahead and do it yourself.
Okay, thank you everyone for participating tonight. Appreciate everyone's attendance. See you next month.
Wait, how do I, hey, Will, how do I stop?
There's under more probably for you. Here, I'm just gonna take the